Rick Watson's got the mic. He's the big dog king. Cover sports so sharp, it's a new river thing. Virginia Tech fire, rapid pride too. Every stat, every play, he's bringing it to you. He's got that voice, deep as a valley, breaking it down, no dilly, no dally. Big Dog Sports Talk, feel the bark, feel the bite. Rick's in the zone, every day, every night, from the Hokies to the Highlanders. He's got the spark. Big Dog Sports Talk, lighten up the dark. He's got the scoop, faster than a sprint. Calling plays like a coach, every word's a hint. From the courts to the fields, the stories unfold.
Hey, what's going on? We are
Rick's play-by-play,
here on
worth its
Thursday.
weight in gold.
I want to say this is
He'll pull you in.
episode 6, maybe. Something like that.
Let the games begin. Big Dog Sports Talk, feel the ball,
Something of that
feel
nature.
the bite. Rick's in the zone.
Hope everybody's doing all right as we get toward the end of the week.
He's got the spark. Big Dog Sports Talk.
And a long
Lighten
couple
up
of
the
weeks.
dark.
At least it has really felt like it's been a long couple of weeks. I'm going to send some invites out, get some people in here. We'll rock and roll. We'll talk about ESPN firings and the aftermath of that. Talk about
Sports Talk, feel the bark, feel the bite. Rick's in the zone. Every day, every night, from the Hokies to the
house bill looks like it's going to be shot down, not sent down, shot down.
Big Dog Sports Talk, lighten up the dark. Big Dog Sports Talk, feel the bark, feel the bite. Rick's in the zone. Every day, every night, from the Hokies to the Highlanders. He's got the spark.
Talk some box office. Looks like the Odyssey is going to do extremely well.
Lighten up the dark.
I have not seen it. All right, that's enough of that. All right, so everybody's doing okay here on a Thursday night. We'll have, I think Coach Mabry's going to join us coming up. I think we've got Dwight may jump on a little bit later on. Maybe we'll get Morris in here, DVP. Hope everybody's doing okay. Yeah, so the ESPN firings, it's still getting a lot of play on X. It's a cutthroat business. It is. And maybe this was their plan all along. I don't know. But the acquisition of the NFL Network has proven to be very costly to them, to say the least. The Ravens have cut Diego Pavia even before training camp. They gave him a 3-year contract. We're trying to keep an eye on this before we really thought maybe there was a chance he would stick, because this was a guy that I loved watching him play. I said it on the show as the season went on. He was probably my favorite college quarterback early in the season. What's up, DVP? Good morning, brother.
How are you? What quarterback are you talking about?
Talking about Diego Pavia, former Vandy star, who then started to regress into this arrogant punk to the point to where he was disrespectful to everybody at the Heisman and made some horrible comments after.
I don't think his mom helped out too much either.
I think you're right.
But yeah, I saw he just got released.
Yeah, he got cut. He got cut today. What's up, Coach Mabry? How are you?
I'm good. How are y'all?
Doing all right,
How are
man.
you?
Hey, are you shocked? Diego Pavia got cut.
I saw that. I saw a few things. I flipped it on. Normally, I watch like Kornheiser and them at 5:30, and I flipped it on, and they had Sports Center on instead. So I sat and watched that for about 20 minutes. I saw that Pavia got cut, and then I listened to Lane Kiffin talk about his whole decision, and it was because Hulk Hogan died, basically. So, yeah, so interesting.
And you could tell he didn't like being told. You could tell he got told to stay off social media too. That comment that he made, that was interesting. What's up, Gap Star? Welcome. Glad to have you.
I saw a graphic on I was in the gym, and I was watching one of the channels had ESPN on, and they were doing I don't know what show it was, but the graphic was over under on wins, and it had LSU and Ole Miss. They have LSU at 8.5, and Ole Miss is 7.5.
Really? Well, Coach, is that Coach Golding down there? Is that his name?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not sure about.
He's also the one they immediately got in trouble right after he was in that interim spot because he was supposedly, talking to recruits or transfer guys before they went in the portal or something.
Yeah, right.
Somebody accused him of that.
Yeah. No, he's pretty shady. I think he's pretty shady. I don't want to speak on behalf of Coach Grantham, but he knows all these guys, being at defense. He knows every one of them. So he kind of has – I think that guy has kind of a reputation, to be honest with you. So, but he's an SEC head coach. And then what happened with Coach Sumrall? Look, I know media people can be annoying, but that was ridiculous. Did y'all see what happened when the phone went off, the guy's phone went off?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's threatening to throw the podium. What are we doing? I don't.
He was either trying to be serious or he was trying to be funny, and it didn't go over well.
Yeah.
Either way, it wasn't.
Florida job. Grantham said the Florida job changes you, man. It's such a different culture down there. Not one he'd ever do again. Maybe that's what we're seeing already from that guy. I don't know. Maybe so. But Coach Foster was great this morning. If you guys didn't get a chance to watch, it was just unreal. That guy.
Did he have his lunch pail?
He had a mug, a coffee mug that was like a lunch pail. It was really cool. He did represent. He
should trademark that and make some money off of it.
Well, yeah. I think he has. Yeah, he's got that thing with Bojangles. So, yeah. Great stuff, man.
I was glad he went over offensive personnel stuff, because a lot of people don't understand when you say 10, 11, 21, 22. And so I was glad he went over a lot of that. I think if you're running like spread, that everything you do is your 2x2, 10 personnel, 2x2.
Correct.
And he went into it in pretty good detail today, but I thought it was simple enough that a lot of people could.
Yeah, he kept it. Yeah, he did. And that's now we've had look at who we've had talk about that the last couple of weeks. Coach Elmo, Coach Grantham, and now Coach Foster. Because that's the big thing. And you notice none of them like to play against it. They all said the same thing. Spread, okay, we'll deal with you on the spread, but we don't want to see you line up with really talented multiple tight ends. That's a problem. And I get that. And Tech's going to create that. I think Tech's going to try to create that. I really do. So I think that's coming up this year. So, but anywho, it was a good conversation. And Dwight following him was really good. Dwight may jump on. He may jump on tonight. Unsure. We'll see. What else is going on Thursday? It's been a long week. Anybody else feel like this week has just been a drudge?
I'm on summer breaks every day. I don't know what day it is each day. Yeah, I'll be honest with you.
It's a long
week. Mowing. All I've been doing is mowing.
I'm today.
I've got 2 huge lots, and I'm very, very OCD about grass in general.
Yeah, you said you were.
I am too.
Push mow everything, and about the time that I mow a section, I'll go hit another section, and then trying to get it in between of storms and everything. And then you look, and what you just mowed 2 days ago needs mowing again.
Correct. And that's
And of
frustrating.
course, I'm the crazy one doing it. So
Right. You think you're done enough, and then all of a sudden, it's popping back up really quickly. Yeah, I'm with you. Well, the ESPN firings are still making big news.
did they fire more today?
Well,
Ryan Clark was fired when he was on air.
Yes. And Carl Ravitch apparently got a notice as he was going into the final half inning of the baseball game. He was calling. So
There's going to be more stuff happen there, I think, from what I've read, that they've sort of handed what was quote unquote Stephen A's domain. They sort of have given McAfee carte blanche at this point. And so I think that might end up down the road getting fairly nasty.
You think there's going to be a butting of the heads there? Is that what that feels like? It does.
Possibly, yeah. And and it looks like ESPN's going to put their eggs in the McAfee basket right now.
What do y'all think of him? I mean, I don't have any, I don't dislike him. I don't have any, whatever he does. And I know he's changed the game, and hey, good for him. But I don't have any desire to hear him. Does that make sense? He doesn't bother me, but I don't feel like I have to turn him on. Does that make sense?
I think it's like when you were talking a couple of these shows, you've brought up, the Stephen A. and Skip Bayless thing. Is I think he provides a different dynamic to that. But again, it's like the Jersey Shore. You're not going to watch the show unless you're going to see some drama. When you turn on Pat McAfee, I mean, you watch his show, it says, "Don't sue us." On that scroll, right. Constantly, P.S. Don't screw us, sue us. And so I'm thinking that's he's kind of like the shock jock, like a Howard Stern of sports up there. And people who are purists of the sports they follow, they don't like this shit.
Agreed.
Yeah. I think two things. Early on, I liked him because he was entertaining.
Yeah.
And he would put stuff out. I still hadn't figured the purpose of AJ Hawk yet.
Yeah, me either.
He sits there and he looks like one of the heads on Mount Rushmore, and he doesn't say a damn word for 3 hours. And
there's a guy. He was a hell of a linebacker in college.
Oh yeah, I'm a Packer. I'm a Packer guy. Loved AJ Hawk. Yeah. But he just sits there and he's like a wooden Indian. But McAfee I liked early. Now it's almost as if he has to perform.
That's it. He became an ESPN guy.
Yeah, he has to perform. And the other thing too, I think with me, is one of the things as age is coming, my hearing is going. And when he starts rambling, I can't understand him. And then you put it on damn closed captioning and they can't even decipher it. So, it's getting pretty bad then. So, but I'll listen to some of the others, podcasts and stuff of people, a lot of people don't like some of the people I'll listen to. I'll listen to, like Stu Gatz. I was listening to Stu Gatz this morning, and Levitard. I'll listen to him sometimes, or Kornheiser.
I love that.
And they throw a lot of humor into it and everything. And Levitard's show was basically based on making fun of sports talk shows.
Yeah.
And that was the whole premise of it. And and he's the one that Levitard's the one that gave Marty a ton of big breaks early. Got him on the show with him and his father and everything, and then sort of turned him loose and everything. And Marty talked about that in his book. talked about how that helped him confidence wise and let him be more of himself and stuff like that.
I wonder if Marty was sweating this one out. I always think about that.
They can't get. I don't see that happening.
It's weird. It's weird. Well, I never would have dreamed somebody like Carl Ravitch. This is weird.
Yeah, that was the weird one to me. I mean, he doesn't seem like somebody that would ruffle feathers. He was able to sit in the middle of all these guys who were, in the Hall of Fame, multiple World Series winners, and make a show of it. And I thought he did a good job. That was the head scratcher. I mean, are they really that, looking at the bottom line, or unless again there's something we're not aware of?
I don't know. I see Andrew Marchand on X is a good guy to follow. He's been giving a lot of good information on this because I don't know the ins and outs about it all. He doesn't validate it, but he does try to explain it all. But it all happened because of the NFL Network acquisition. Apparently, they knew this was going to happen. It's not even like as if they own it all. It's just weird. He tried to explain the ownership of that and McAfee Show. They don't even own it. They just rent McAfee Show. They just buy into it.
Right.
So, and I'm not sure exactly what, but they let go. I think he said 48 people today behind the scenes at the NFL Network. Just
and the thing too is, and I know you're not. I know you're not a big ESPN guy as a whole and all that, and
no.
But I will watch about the first half hour of Get Up in the morning usually, and I will catch that, and then the 15th time they talk about the Cowboys or Aaron Rodgers, then it's time to, flip a channel, and of course they're doing that for quarter-hour ratings, and that's what gets their quarter-hour ratings, but they got rid of a football guy and brought in a soap opera actor, a soap opera actor to basically take his place on those things. And, whether you like Ryan Clark or you don't like Ryan Clark or whatever, he's still a football guy and he can still get on a telestrator and he can draw up and tell you things that are happening. The Brandt guy can't do that.
No, he cannot. He cannot.
And the other guys, and usually they balance it with either insiders, the ones that aren't playing necessarily are insiders per se, like Graziano and some people like that. And I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me, but who am I?
They're all about everything but the sports. That's what they've become. That's what they've morphed into, and it is. It's about yelling. It's about, and I guess we're not the generation. I get it. And we're not the target audience anymore. I get it.
Well, it's a thing. It's like I said, they're going after those quarter hour ratings, and it's just like music. We were talking music and we were talking about rock and how there's no young rock bands, and I was telling you about the one I like. Well, the reason there isn't is because kids don't listen to it. And then,
Correct.
And then therefore we get cranked up. Us old guys get cranked up. So music sucks, because they're not doing our stuff. But they're not catering to us anymore. We're going to be dead here in a few years, and they're not going to worry about it.
And they're not going to matter anymore anyway.
They're going to get those cats that are living longer.
I will try it though. I will give myself that. I will try to listen to stuff, and it's just like I just don't. It's just not good. It's all. I don't know how much of it's even real anymore, right, Coach?
Right.
I mean, they go in the studio. They got the automatic voice thing and instrument. Brian May, Queen, was talking about how they got all these instrument corrections. It's just. It's not. It's almost like it's AI in the studio now making music.
Right. And the thing is, though, a lot of bands that we didn't know use a lot of that. A lot of bands that we like and respect used a lot of the, and I mean, it starts, when they started using pedals with the guitars and stuff. But in the end, I like I like the sound that they get from a lot of it when they do the live stuff and all that. And I understand why a lot of that backtracking. I understand why they use backtracking. If you've got a 3-man band and you make an album and the 3 of you are playing 6 different instruments and laying down different tracks and everything, you've got to have some backtrack in there for your live shows and stuff. That part I get. I think more in pop music and the pop vocals and stuff like that, that's when it really gets hairy.
Coach, you got a question here. Coach Mabry, are you going to be able to go to many Collier Pruitt games this year? 271
Collier Pruitt.
Slam.
Collier Pruitt. I definitely plan on going to see him play. He is he played for me in football 3 years ago, and he was a stud. He was a flat-out stud.
Where did he go?
He went to UVA Wise for basketball.
Okay.
And he had an offer from West Point. He had an offer from, I'm thinking maybe the Naval Academy too. The two in basketball. Tech kept telling him in football, wait on us, be patient, wait on us, be patient. UVA looked at him hard in football. And I was talking to his dad just yesterday, and he's doing what makes him happy, what he enjoys more.
That's right. That's right.
But I thought he would have been, if he would have gone into football, 6'3". Right now, I'm guessing he's about 208 to 210. There's a clip of him that went viral where these guys will get online and they will, block or charge. And it's a clip of him when he was playing at UVA Wise, and he's taking the ball to the hole, and a guy gets in his way, and he just takes his forearm and knocks him into row X, and then dunks over top of him. And I mean, he was just that powerful, and he was like at football. He could run over you, he could run around you, he could run past you, but just a stud. And yes, I do plan on going to see some RU basketball games and to see Collier play. I coached his dad. His dad was our quarterback on our state team at Narrows in '94, our state semifinalist team.
I've seen him. He hasn't really been practicing. I don't know what's going on. Like, he's been down there. I forgot that was his name. I haven't met the team yet. So, but he's on a side court all the time. I don't know if he's injured. I don't know what's going on with that, but he has not run. I don't know if there's an eligibility thing. Can he not start until a certain time? It's a little strange.
I'm not for sure.
Yeah, I'll try to see if I can see him tomorrow and introduce myself and ask him. And I'll mention you too, Coach. I'll mention.
Oh, he's a great kid. Was a super student. Just super young man.
Yeah, I'll look for him tomorrow. They'll practice tomorrow on Friday, so. And I'll find out what's going on. But he has not been on the main floor that I've seen with the team. He's there, he's doing stuff, but I don't know how all that works now. I don't know why they pretend like there's any rules anymore. I don't know why. If there is something he's waiting on, why? I don't just let him get out there. Who cares? What are we policing nowadays? Nothing.
Hey, the other two people that was interesting they got rid of, go back to ESPN here, I forgot. Charles Davis.
No, he's so good. Yeah.
Charles Davis and Cam Newton.
Yeah, well. that one didn't bother me.
The Campster.
The Campster's gone. But Charles Davis now.
Charles Davis was good.
He's serious.
Yeah. Well, that's what they were talking about because he did a lot of the draft stuff for them too.
Yeah, man. He's great. So that's what I'm saying. It's just weird who they selected. I don't know if it was all salary. I guess I don't know.
I wouldn't think. I don't know about the NFL Network people what they would be taking in. I'm sure out of all of them, Ryan Clark had probably the highest salary, or Ravitch. One of those two, I would think.
Had to be. Yes. Yeah, had to be. And I don't know. I think the thing that Marshawn's talking about, he's not sure. Is this strictly cost cutting? Is this? They didn't really say anything.
Well, like I said, there's got to be something to the story that we're not privy to and won't be for another 6 months to a year.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you're going to find out, possibly Ravitch, had a disagreement with the direction of the show was going or something to that effect, new producer, whatever. It's just, the other funny one, I should say it's funny, but it kind of hits home with me is I didn't realize they had, 'cause I don't watch it, but I saw that the terminations who they replaced with was the NBA's broadcast team, lead broadcast team. It's now Tim Legler, and he replaced Doris Burke. Now, why that hits home with me is because Doris Burke played high school basketball at the high school that I work at. Her and my wife.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and matter of fact, the Mabry sisters, same high school, they play at Notre Dame. Yeah, that's our high school. Doris is from.
Hey,
Coach.
there he is, the star of the bash, ladies and gentlemen. Coach Elbow. What's up, Coach?
No star, but I'll tell you what, I enjoyed it.
It was fun.
Can you hear
We
me?
had a lot of fun.
Yes.
Can you hear me, Rick?
Yep.
Good.
Yeah, we got you. Can you hear us? You got us?
Absolutely, yep.
We were just talking about Cam Newton got fired by ESPN.
How about that? They're firing a bunch of people. Welcome to my world. I was telling Rick.
I wrote the book on that.
Where you can throw the book at me.
Yeah.
I told Rick on the last show.
That'd be a good book to write. When I was at, and just leave it blank.
Yeah, oh, no doubt.
And every
No
chapter is one of your stops. The 18 chapter book right there.
Yeah. Opportunity to get a better job. That's how you got to look at it. It's all business. No personal feelings, Time to move on. So, yeah, cool. Great. Really enjoyed visiting with everybody. It was so much fun.
It was
David,
fun.
I sent you that team picture of all the DBs at the Peach Bowl with Jeff Williams in there.
I sent it to Waterhead today. So
Waterhead.
Oh, that's hilarious. Waterhead.
did y'all ever call him that?
No. Oh, hell no.
See,
You know
that's
what?
how
No.
when we met, that's how we were introduced.
Oh, Jesus.
And
No,
that's all I ever heard anybody call him.
No. You know what? I never called kids with names. That numbers. I was like Buddy Ryan. Hey, number
Okay.
19. Yeah, it was.
Hey,
The name
19.
thing. I called him. I did the Buddy Ryan thing.
Well, you
called
weren't
the
going to
numbers
get
up.
any new numbers, but you were going to get a shitload of new names.
That's right. That's right. So it was easy just to do the numbers. I got it. Yeah.
That was just about as many Southwest Virginia kids, with the exception of maybe 3 or 4 of them. That was the Peach Bowl, the defensive backs. Picture taken a couple of days prior to the game. We all went to the stadium. And
that
Sean
was
Lucas,
a cool picture. That was a good
Yeah.
picture.
Sean Lucas from Abington, Virginia, was starting for me that game as a true freshman. Billy Myers, Eddie Neal had come off a broken ankle. He broke his ankle, like, I don't know, the Clemson game or midway through the Syracuse game. And he was having we beat Clemson with him. He was having a great year from Bluefield. Great year. Love that kid.
Rick, I just sent you that picture.
Okay, cool. I'll check it out.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. So, but the bash was great. Enjoyed it.
It was
Didn't get
great.
Did you throw any axes, Coach?
What's that?
Did you throw any axes? It's the first thing I asked Rick when
We
I
didn't
talked
go
to
in
him the
there.
other day.
We stayed out of that room.
No. Hey, it was fun. I mean, like I said, there's stories, but they're all true. That's the crazy part.
Yeah. Yeah. And the detail. That's what I was talking about, Coach. Was like people were talking about how you just put them right there in the place that you were talking about, man. That's a gift, Coach. Not everybody can do that. So
Hey, that with Bud Foster this morning was wonderful. Excellent.
oh, so good. He's so
Excellent.
good.
He was, it's funny. He's talked about the best quarterback. I know I'm gonna be on with you tomorrow, and I started okay. The
He didn't
first one I
hesitate,
ever
did he?
saw,
Yeah.
first one that educated me was Bernie Kosar. That was the first one, first big time, true professional guy. The week before, we're crapping our pants because we're playing. I was in East Carolina. We were playing Miami, and we had to go down there to play. And I told the D coordinator, it was a buddy of mine, for Tom Throckmorton, old Farron boy, coached at Virginia Tech with me, and he ended up passing away a couple of years ago. But I said, Throck, this guy is ridiculous. I've never seen anything like it in my young career. And because I just come off of 4 years of junior college football and at William & Mary in Richmond. So that was my first, 9 years of coaching. Next thing you know, I'm at East Carolina. We're going down to Miami, and they're number one in the country, and they got Bernie Kosar. And I said he cannot run. Run.
Very unathletic, wasn't he? Or
Oh,
unorthodox, I guess.
I said, we've got to turn this guy into something that he's not good at, and that's a sprint out quarterback. So, Dave, I think you'll appreciate this. I said, we're going to 3-man rush this guy, and we're going to flush him, take the inside lanes away, and basically get in the bear defense. Back in the day, before the bear even came about, from 4 eyes or 5 technique on the tackles, head up the tackles. We had 2 great NFL defensive tackles, and they inside rushed him, and we had our linebacker as the 4th rusher. As soon as he was flushed, he was a scrape guy on the secondary contain when we flushed him, and it worked. It worked, and we ended up losing to him 13-12 or something. It was a hell of a game. But Bernie Kosar was the first one. I've got a list and like what Bud didn't tell you, that like with Donovan McNabb, he said he went 2-2 against Donovan. Well, I got a list of quarterbacks that I could tell you I launched their careers. When they put a Hall of Fame jacket on, my name's on the inside of it. Thank you, Coach Elmation. Appreciate all you did for me.
I love the story he told this morning, Coach, about McNabb in that game where he rallied them against Tech. He was so just beat. He went over there. He went on the sideline and threw up right beside his shoes, Coach's shoes. He was standing there. He got sick. It was just like, and he still goes out there and makes that play at the end. And beats them. So.
That was a series at that time back in the mid 2000s. They weren't just they were ass kickings. I mean. One time, Syracuse hung 45 or 50 on them. And then the next year, it was the opposite. And like you said, both teams never won at home at that run in the Big East. Both were teams won away. Tech beat them twice in the dome. No, excuse me. They won at home. They never won the away games. But it was really great interview. I appreciated it. It was brought back a lot of good memories for me.
Yeah, it was. I got the picture, Coach. Thanks. That's awesome.
Yeah. How about that crew?
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
You talk about making adjustments to a quarterback and everything. I watched a regional championship game in high school, probably 08. 07, 06. Christiansburg played, not Christiansburg, Graham played Gretna, and Gretna had Vic Hall. And they were playing in the mud. They were playing at Mitchell Stadium in Bluefield. And, of course, Vic Hall could throw it. He could run it. He was that multi-dimensional, but he would kill you. He would kill you the minute he see linebackers' backs. He just tuck it and go. He would tuck it and go. Linemen trying to get to him and everything. And Coach Carlock at halftime, basically had his front line, all they did was stand up, and they didn't even try and penetrate.
Wow.
They did not try and penetrate, and they would not give
Yeah,
him any running lanes at all.
Interesting.
How about that?
And they were
Did
down.
it work?
Pardon?
Did it work?
Yeah. Well, yeah, because they were down 27-0 at the half. Vic Hall had shredded them to death, and ended up Gretna scored one more touchdown because Graham had fumbled, and the final score was like 34-28.
Wow.
But like I said, he just stood up his front.
Yeah.
And they didn't try and penetrate, because every time they try and penetrate, Vic Hall would just hit right up through there. And he apparently was a mudder too, because he could, the mud didn't bother him running in it, but not much anything bothered him.
You remember Tom Harper, coach, D coordinator for Coach Dooley at Virginia Tech back in that.
Okay,
80s?
yeah.
Well, the Wake Forest, Virginia Tech was playing. No, he was at Clemson. He ended up going to Clemson with Danny Ford. He left Coach Dooley and took the defensive coordinator's job for Danny Ford. He was there when they won the national championship. So somewhere in the early 80s, they were playing Wake Forest when Al Groh was the head coach. And they had a really good team. They had one of those 7-win teams, 8-win. They had tremendous quarterback. Baldinger was one of the offensive line. They had a really good offensive line, and they were holding son of a guns. And this is before they changed the rule. So Harper put tearaway jerseys on the defensive linemen, and the game was over. They're standing there. The offensive lineman standing there with a jersey in their hand as the D lineman was running by him. And that was that. Then they outlawed the tearaway jerseys.
I remember that.
The tearaways.
Yeah.
Those old wishbone teams that had like Oklahoma, especially
Sims,
Oklahoma,
Billy
that had
Sims.
speed.
That was one of the teams I was thinking about, because they were always
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The tearaways. Yeah.
And they all had the tearaways.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
SMU with Eric
Yeah,
Dickerson
yeah.
and Craig
Alabama.
James.
Pony Express.
Johnny
We
Musso
had
at Alabama.
Yeah. I was the backfield coach at Richmond back in the 70s, and we had them for our players. And let me tell you, it worked.
It worked?
They ended up outlawing them, couldn't do them anymore. We had the tearaways on all my running backs and receivers.
I can still picture the video though of Earl Campbell running, and everybody's pulling all his clothes off as he just keeps moving forward.
Yeah.
That wasn't a tearaway jersey either.
No kids, that's what I mean.
That was the Oilers and the Rams. I remember that.
Yeah, when he ran over that linebacker, oh my God!
It may have been Isaiah Robertson. I can't remember the
Yeah.
linebacker, somebody like that.
That was something. That was wow. You watch those. It's funny. You go to YouTube and you watch those NFL games, 60s, 70s, and 80s, and you talk about a violent game. Oh my God! I don't know how those guys did it, and they weren't getting paid.
And we talked about this the other week. I was talking about the physical differences between like the collegiate players and pro players today as to like back then. But you're right. I think the game was a lot more violent back then.
Oh.
I mean, look at the hit. Look at the hit that Pittsburgh hit.
Yeah.
Who whacked
Tatum.
Tatum?
Jack
Jackinson.
Yeah.
And I could see
like that.
Yeah, I could see some of those rules being extremely beneficial to the player that cannot protect himself. I can see that. And they finally did it to the defense too. You can't do the blindside crackbacks. And so at least I could see. But the thing with the quarterback thing still bothers me. It still bothers me because when you go back,
put a red shirt on him.
I used to tell the quarterbacks later on my years in coaching, we're going to go to Victoria. I used to go in the quarterback room and put down Victoria's Secret catalogs. I said, here, order your uniform.
Well, and the thing in today's game too, you've got quarterbacks are high paid, and I understand that part of it. But if they're going to start running RPO, RPO type stuff and all that. If you're a defender, what in the hell do you do?
Oh no,
You know?
oh no. I mean, you can't hit them high, can't hit them low. I mean, it's just you know that's the only thing about the game that bothers me when you look at the statistics of these quarterbacks in these modern era quarterbacks. They need to be asterisks by their names. Because when you look at Bradshaw, you go back and you watch back to the Bradshaw days and or Y.A. Tittle days. I mean, I have that one picture. I'm not going to get it, but I showed Rick the one picture on the show
With the blood.
Y.A. Tittle with the blood down on the cover of Life magazine on his knees, you know, and these guys, and that was a part of the game. You know, Buddy Ryan. When I was in Virginia, we had Buddy Ryan come down and speak at our clinic. George, we had him down as a clinician, and we sent a private plane up to Philadelphia, and George said, hey, go on the plane, go pick him up. So we were flying on the way back down, coming to the clinic. I got to meet him and know him, spend time with him. And his philosophy was, we're getting to the second guy. The second string quarterback's not good enough to win in this league. And the objective is to get to the second guy. And when the quarterback on the opponent team threw an interception, he assigned all 4 down defensive linemen to go find him and kick his ass. And there was no flag. You could hit him in the back. There were no flags. On a turnover, there are no flags. If an offensive guy fumbles the ball, guys are getting speared in the back, and they will not throw the flag in the turnover situation. Because it
sounds like that Burt Reynolds movie.
Yeah, The Longest Yard.
Longest Yard.
Longest Yard. Yeah.
Let him through.
Yeah.
Hey,
so you know, it was he always had that philosophy. And when I got to Virginia Tech, that was our deal. You know, the Washington defense back in 1990, they had 7 out of the 11 game schedule, 7 out of the 11 quarterbacks either did not play the next week. They were either benched, pulled from the game, or physically could not play the next week. 7 out of 11. And that was our goal at Virginia Tech. We called it 11-on-1. Well, it was our 11 guys versus 1 guy. We didn't give a shit about anybody else on the field. Could care less. And that's fact. Bud will tell you that, Rick. Bud will tell you that. And I'd always stand by the quarterbacks in pregame. I wanted to look in their eyes. I want to see if they're bright eyes or dull eyes. And if they were dull-eyed, I'd go back in the log and go, boy, this game's over. We're winning this sucker.
There's the star of the bash.
Morris, what's going on,
Morris?
buddy?
What's up, Morris?
I got out here late, boys. I think I may have hit a damn heat stroke today. I played golf, and it had to be 150.
I don't know why I laughed. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
jeez.
Well, he's here. He's here.
Well, he's here to talk about it so you can laugh at it.
Yeah.
You back down in Florida?
It was just the way he said it. It was the way the
Best
delivery
medicine you
got
can
me.
do is laughing at yourself. Yeah, Palm Coast, where Janet and you, I think, have been to Hammock Dunes.
Oh, yeah.
Across the bridge.
We've been down across the bridge, yeah.
Yep. And I made sure I pointed out to you that we live on this side of the bridge.
The other side.
Yeah. There's some expensive condos and homes. A beautiful, beautiful beach.
Ridiculous. It's lifestyles of the rich and famous.
But
Karen's awesome, by the way, Morris.
I told her when I come in here and got on, I said, I'm sure I'm going to have to hear about you first. She was part of the show.
She was awesome, man.
She was great.
She enjoyed both Janet's and I thought I was going to lose my mind when the coach was outside and Janice come up and said, come on, coach. And Karen has to do that with me. If I'm having drinks with you or whatever, the last thing I'm thinking about is eating. And Janet come up to the back and said, Samuel, you got to go and eat. Why don't you go and make me a plate? Make your own damn plate. I was gonna die.
I gave it a shot. Come on now.
You gotta try.
But you know what though? We don't go out. We just came back from dinner tonight. We usually our weekends start on Wednesday at 5 o'clock. That's when the weekends start down here, because there's always music playing in certain spots we go. Well, I'll tell you, Monday and Tuesday, I'll be sitting in here and I'm listening to Greg Roberts live, and she'll bring in the dinner, so that she does that for me. But see, I didn't realize you had the room back there, Rick. I didn't realize that. And I'm thinking, oh, okay, this is where we're staying. So I said, well, she can go get me a plate. Well, the bottom line was, because there was the room, she goes, get your own damn plate.
Your own damn plate.
Yeah. By the way, Karen, she really enjoyed both of their companies, Janet and
It was great. That was a lot of, we thoroughly enjoyed it. Trust me.
Yeah, it was a ton of fun. And I told Rick, and on the podcast, I think Monday, I said, it's almost like we're a bunch of little school children sitting back in that food room. And I said, Phil, he was on a tear. And we were all just sitting around and just soaking all of it in.
Oh, it was fun.
And
I appreciate you guys listening, because it's when it's all said and done, think about what everybody knows, what sports does, what football does. It just brings people together, and there's a commonality, and everybody can appreciate the experiences more than anything else, because it's all about the people. Period.
Yeah, the most recurring statement that Coach Elmo had all night was, "It's all true."
Yeah, that's what he was saying.
Yeah.
It's all true.
Well, that's what's scary. I mean, there comes a point in time you're going, Jesus, how the hell do we get by with this?
But fun times. We have to do it again.
That's what I used to tell my ex-wife, that it's all true. Something went wrong though in the translation.
Yeah, I hear you.
What? But
well, I told Rick the best piece of advice I could give him is to say, "Be right." What was it? Be right. Be miserable. Be wrong. Be happy.
There you go.
Just look at your shoes and be very humbled, and yes, 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 yes,
and move on.
And it took me 3 of them to figure that shit out, Rick.
I won't be doing a third. I won't be doing a third, Coach.
Oh, hell.
2 will be it for me.
Yep. Coach Coach was holding court. It was good to see everybody. And every time somebody come up to me or something, I said, "Don't worry about your name. What's your handle on the podcast?"
I know. Yeah,
that's all I'll know you.
And we had a lot of people walk in and they had to leave. Did y'all see all those folks? There was like several families that came up and they were just like, "Hey, we were close. We knew you guys were doing this tonight. We have to go to dinner or we have to take our kids, but we just wanted to say hi." I thought that was really nice too. It was probably about a dozen people that did that.
Yeah.
And they waved.
That was a really cool place too, Rick. The people were so nice in there.
Yeah, they did a great job. The food was good. Everybody was talking about all the food.
Food was good, yeah.
No, they were great.
It was
Amanda,
great.
Terry and Amanda, they do a great job. Yeah.
Beer was cold. It was good.
Yeah, that'll work.
The only problem is I'm not used to, on drafts, I'm not used to just getting like 12 ounces in a cup.
You're used to.
And
you're more of a tall boyer.
Yeah. And I had to go and Morris brought me an extra ticket, and then I used it, and then the next thing I know, I had to go beg Morris for another ticket.
And after I'm about either 2-3 beers or cocktails deep, go take it.
Well, you had a roll of tickets now.
I did.
You had a damn wad
They
of
reminded me of that when I checked out.
But you kept us all hydrated. That was the key. That way, none of us would have had heat stroke at the event.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, Morris, more importantly, how did you shoot today?
I had a 94.
So you almost shot the temperature.
Yeah, my golf game is, I used to shoot in the 80, 85 in that range, and I would dip into the 70s occasionally. That's playing good golf. And
yeah.
But I just haven't, I guess I haven't played enough. I guess I'm old. I have to throw that in. and then it's hotter than Hades. I mean, hell,
Ooh.
100 degrees, and
Yeah.
you're just
How you
getting
doing?
scorched, man. And drinking
It's,
beer.
well, it's the humidity.
In my case, it's the humility.
You know what?
Either one will kill you.
Oh,
I'm sure Florida's similar. When we got to LSU, and Nick had coached at Houston, and there's certain, because of the geography between the mountains and the coast and where the fronts hit, like Greenville, North Carolina is a really bad place to train. Baton Rouge is a bad place to train. But the trainers told Coach, he said, the worst time as far as athletic training is concerned during the day is between 9 and 12. Because in Baton Rouge, that was the most humid. The humidity was at its highest. Now, about 1 o'clock on, it's just damn hot. But the humidity really diminished after 1 o'clock. And so we had our practices, excuse me, our practices were real. We avoided the 9 to 12. Then we had to play the 3:30 CBS game, which was, 2:30. So we had to practice at that time. And he was one of the first ones, Rick, that even though we had two-a-days, he never did a consecutive two-a-days. He'd go 2-1, 2-1.
Yeah. Okay.
Which was really, I loved it. I thought it was great. And that was way before you could have, 3 or 4 or 5 two-a-days in a row. And he wasn't going to do that.
When I was playing with the Angels and I went out to Mesa, we were practicing at 6 a.m. in the morning. And I asked a guy who'd been there, and I said, why do they have us up? It was some light out. I said, why are we here so early? And I said, they really trying to make sure we're not drinking or something? He goes, hell no. He goes, you don't want to be on the field at 11 o'clock.
Exactly. No, exactly.
Coach, you're rocking the big dog shirt. Coach, I just realized you're rocking. He looks good. How's it feel?
Yeah, good. I'm good with it. We'll work out with it tomorrow morning.
It looks great.
I'm gonna hit my. I do the weights in the morning at this.
You may go such a
aquatic center. So
Did y'all see where the kid at Tech put up 5'10" on the bench today?
did he really? Wow.
I forget his name, but yeah, bench 5'10" today.
There you go.
Said it was the record for Tech.
That's pretty good because they've been with Gentry there. Mike Gentry was there. There are a bunch of records that, trust me. Yeah,
what's Mike Gentry doing now? Is he still in?
I don't know. I don't know.
That's a good question.
He was helping Kurt Newsom down at Emory and Henry, the last I had heard.
We'll have to find out. We'll have to find out.
I don't know what Mike's doing. Mike, I was with Mike at East Carolina. Mike was our strength coach when I was at East Carolina. That's when I first met Mike. We had Terry Long. I mean, we had the second of highest NFL draft choices in 1983. It was Texas was 1, Oklahoma was 2, East Carolina. We were number 3 nationally of the most NFL draft choices in the round, not free agents, but in the. I think it was like 11 rounds at that time. And he was our strength coach. And I'm telling you, we played all 3 Florida schools. They were either ranked 1, 2, or 3 when we played them down there. And we lost by a total of 13 points. They won the game, but we beat the hell out of them physically because of Mike. And the same thing at Virginia Tech. When they fired Mike Gentry, that program went south in a hurry.
I guess I'm catching up. Did Tech fire Gentry?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Fired. Yeah.
I knew he was no longer there, but I thought
he fired.
He's old enough. I thought maybe he retired.
Yeah, when Frank resigned, I was up there. I was with him sitting in his office about the day he got fired. I was with Mike. I was visiting.
What was the reasoning? Was it just what were they trying to say? Just anymore?
Don't know. Wish I could tell you. He didn't know. They just wanted an overhaul. No, they got what they wished for. They had. Let me tell you, when we used to go down to Miami and play, they'd win the game, but physically we would beat their ass. And we'd have one kid IV and they'd have 12. We were in such great condition. Great condition. I knew when I took that job, because I knew Mike, I said, no. Our football program's got to catch. You walked into his weight room, there was no effing around, and that's coaches included. You do not happy jack with players and screw his program. He'll throw your ass out.
Yeah.
At coaches, he'll throw you out of the weight room. No music, no nothing. And it was work. And those kids feared his ass. The fear motivation of not disappointing him. So
what year was he fired?
I think 2000, I don't know, a couple of years after Frank, I think when Fuente got, when did Witt become the AD?
Right when Fuente
13,
got there. Yeah.
I think that was one of the first things Witt did, fired Mike.
He's at Emory, Coach. He's at Emory right now. He is at Emory.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know he was with Kurt. I knew that when he was with Kurt Newsom.
Just found him. Yep.
So, but it's your strength coach, even I don't care how much NIL money you got. I don't care how much you can now coach these kids. Your football teams, I know Wisconsin, our strength coach, I told Barry Alvarez when I got there, I said, he asked me, he goes, what do you think of the off season? I said, after watching the films, you could see the carryover from the off season program to the field. And the same thing with Mike. He was I had 4 defensive backs at Wisconsin come in at 150 pounds. 4 of them, 150 pounds. 4 years later, 3 played in the NFL, drafted first round, 4th round, 2 4th-rounders, and 1 went to Canadian Football League and made all conference. All 4 of them, 150 pounds, came in, recruited by. We beat Afghanistan for a couple of these kids. Nobody. So that's what the strength coach can do. If you've got a good one. Yeah.
I found the guy who did it at Tech today. He's actually a returning starting defensive lineman.
Good.
It's Kamari Copeland.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He's a name.
He's from Bob Beach. He's 7'5'7".
There you go. Yeah. There.
Oh, hey, he was a West Point guy.
Really?
And then went to junior college.
Wow.
Coach, maybe Randy Thompson said, just take 2 12 ounces. That'll make up for your tall boy. Randy was there. Everybody met Randy. He was the one bowling he was in the 200s all night long. He's in a league.
Did you hit 5 strikes in a row?
I did.
Huh?
In the second game, I did, yeah.
You threw 5 strikes in a row.
I did.
And then too bad, Chris.
And right before the 6th one, I looked at Brandon and I went, "This one's for you, Coach Franklin." And then I almost threw a gutter ball. Might be a bad year in Blacksburg.
Hey, this thing should have been on the ABC Wild World of Sports with Chris Schenkel.
Chris Schenkel. No, he'd have been all over it. Who's this Watson fella?
Yeah.
When was the last time you bowled before that?
When my youngest son was in 6th grade. So
Jesus.
So you had plenty of prep time.
7 years ago. Yeah, I had plenty of mental
prep.
I was been warming up for this for 15 years.
What's up, Wayne? Wayne from Ohio in chat.
Hey, Denny, what position in baseball did you play?
College first base, and then I got moved to the outfield in pro ball.
What in pro? What'd you play?
I got moved to the outfield.
Oh, wow. From first base to the outfield. That's impressive.
I played center field in high school.
Nice.
I got moved to first base at Radford because we had lost a first baseman after my freshman year. We had plenty of outfielders. So, hey, my father said, "You're at first base because you can hit. You can put a hat and a glove there."
There you go. Wow. That must have been a hell of a transition, though. I mean, come on now. First base?
I'm a better fielder now at 54 than I was at 21 at Radford. As a coach, if I'm ever at a clinic and I talk about defense, and first thing I say to them, I still believe I'm one of the worst defensive first basemen probably in the history of the program. But I wasn't at first base to be Ozzie Guillen. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. Well, my first love was baseball. I was a pitcher, center fielder, and I just love the game. That was my first love. I wasn't even playing football. I was going to try to be a professional baseball player if I could, or continue it. And so, I fell in love with football, and decided to be a football player. And during the summer, the old Babe Ruth leagues, this is like my 9th grade year. About middle of the summer, the Babe Ruth coach, who I know real well through the little leagues, calls me up. He goes, I need some help. I need some help. We're playing a double. I haven't played organized baseball in a year. He goes, can you come out and help me? He goes, we're playing a doubleheader today. You can pitch your first game, play center field the second game. And I told Harry, guy's name was Harry. I remember his name. Harry. No, I'm not doing this. He goes, come on out. He goes, you got to help. I said, all right, I'll be there. So I got a uniform, came here. I swear to God, I wish I was embellishing this story. This is fact. There's some witnesses that are still alive today to say this.
Some collaborators.
But yeah, before the first game, I'm going down to pick up a bat for batting practice. And all of a sudden, this kid hits a ball, and thank God it hit the ground first. Line drive one right to my head as I, no helmet on, nothing, picking up a bat. I'm out, knocked out. Got a big knot in my head. Well, back then, so I'm not playing in the first game. I'm on the bench all day in July. In the second game, they got me playing center field. So, waited it out, and I'm playing center. Well, the pitcher, kid named Ace Adams, ended up pitching from Michigan. This kid's in 8th grade.
Great name.
And he's throwing 80 mile an hour. His dad was a high school coach, would not let him throw curveballs. You take that fastball and you place it at 8th or 9th grade. And that's all he could throw, was allowed to throw, was a fastball and control it. And this sumbitch is throwing that thing. Is an aspirin tablet in my house. And I went there and I looked up. I'm going, oh, no. I'm taking 3 of my asses sitting down. I ain't hitting this guy. All of a sudden, my manager, he gives me the bunt sign. I'll tell you what, I close my eyes and they got contact with the ball. I'm running down to first base, catcher picks the ball, hits me in the back of the head. Going down to first base.
Coach Elmo is explaining a lot of stuff right here.
You know what I did, Denny? I kept on running. I said, goodbye, Harry. I'm done. I kept running. Never came back to the game. Got hit in the head twice in one day. I said, that's it. I'm done.
The only time I took 2 shots in the head playing involving baseball. One was a fastball from a guy who was I think was the first pick of the Rockies back in '94 in Bend, Oregon. The other time when I was coaching, was doing a drill inside of a tunnel, wasn't wearing a helmet. Ball went flying past the L screen, hit a beam behind me, and then ricocheted back. And I mean, hit right in the back of the head, and I dropped.
Jesus. Jesus.
And you're
now
down.
I'm in the office. I'm in the office like this, holding my head.
Oh.
A college coach who I can't, an SEC program, came into the office to see what the office looked like. And finally, I look at him, and he's asking about the office, and I'm like, hey, blank, do you see I'm in pain here? You think I give 2 shits right now? Who did his windows?
Oh, my God. Wow. Oh, no, been there. But I love baseball. That's my favorite sport. To this day, I love baseball.
Denny, how long did you play in the major league?
Didn't even pelted.
No, I was just in the minors.
Wayne says.
What were you? AAA, AA? Where were you?
Single.
Single A.
I got drafted out of high school and decided, and I turned down the offer to go to college.
Oh wow.
I know it's funny. I didn't think I was that good in baseball until I got drafted. I just thought it was something I did on the side because I was going to play focus on football, but also play baseball at Kansas.
Wow.
But when I got drafted, I was like, I guess I am pretty good in baseball. I'm raw, which is exactly what my head coach at Radford thought of me too when he saw me. So
Hey, Jen has joined us in chat. Say hello to Jen. Hello, Jen. Happy
Jen.
dinner.
Hello. What are you making?
Yeah, what are you making? Yeah, not you, Wayne. You're not hotness. No, sorry. Hey, DVP, what is Laddie going to be looked at as a starter? Is he going to develop as a starter? What are they going to do? They told him yet? Do you know?
I haven't heard. If you were to ask me 15 years ago, yeah, starter. You asked me now, I couldn't. Like for example, you look at them guys, the minors, they throw less than probably the college guys throw. Like they're only going out there for 2-3 innings at a clip now. They're not pushing those guys in the minors. So where do I think he's better based on watching him? And I don't, I have somebody here from the staff to confirm or deny it, but I think he's better off starting.
I do too.
Danny, what do you think of the Red Sox 15-game winning streak?
They still got it going, Coach? Is it 15?
No, they
lost game 2 today.
Yeah, Baltimore got them.
But that's just like that. That's the same like with Moneyball. With that when they went on that run, the A's. Yeah. And I'll use Coastal Carolina last year. Look how many games those guys won out of was some crazy number like 27 out of 32 games.
Yeah,
he hadn't lost on a Tuesday in months, and it's just something weird sometimes with baseball if it just all comes together, because it's a weird game. Like you look at like a good baseball Major League Baseball team, like we'll go with the Dodgers. Their winning percentage is .650.
Yep.
What's .650? What's .650 in college football? How many wins is that?
Got to get fired. 6 wins, 7 wins.
Yeah. So
Trying to get fired.
Yeah, it's just with the games that they play, it's I don't know I've been around some teams like that. Well, for example, my '94 team that was on in Boise, Idaho, we were a bunch of college guys. Basically, my entire the guys around the field, they all came from a 4-year college program. Some of that, we had the catcher from Cal State Fullerton. We had the shortstop from Notre Dame, second base of Wichita State, who used to be a big deal back then, Wichita State, left fielder LSU, me, the first base was my roommate. He ended up being a league MVP. He was a 4th-round high school pick when he was there, had gotten there. And but we were okay in the month of June for that half month, and then we lost 2 pick. Our one and number 2. Our number 1 was Rob Bonanno from University of Florida, and our number 2 was Todd Blyleven, whose father is Bert. And I got a picture of Bert when he came to Boise.
Nice.
So, but in July, I got to go back and find it. I'm sure I can find it on one of these online sites. I think we won 25 games in the month, 24 or 25 games in the month of July.
Wow. Nice.
And had lost our number 1 and 2. We just couldn't lose.
Oh, geez. You know what I love about baseball, and I used to tell my football players this. I'll say, what's the difference between a 300 hitter and a 280 hitter? And they'd always, they'd give me I'd say millions of dollars. Millions. If you
one extra hit a week.
Yeah. I said, if you, between 280 and 300 in terms of batting average, millions that you're going to make.
Again, here's the scary thing. That was the metric 10, 15 years ago. Now it's, what is the guy's OPS?
What is that anyway? I see this crap on the
See?
TV, and I'm going, what? Give me the
Everybody is
average.
OPS driven now. It's on base percentage
Oh, crap.
and slugging.
That's
that means
another way
getting
ESPN's ruining the damn
getting
game.
on base and hitting home runs.
Oh, Jesus. You know what? Thank you for letting me know what the hell that is. I love watching baseball. I'm going, what the crap is OPS? I want to know the batting average of the batter and the earned run average of the pitcher, and that's all I give a crap about. And when I see the pitcher coming out with a 4.1 earned run average, I'm going, he ain't got a chance today.
Well, it used to be strikeouts
Well, it's funny,
were bad,
you actually-
and now strikeouts aren't so bad anymore.
No, because they're trying to hit a home
If you
run.
look at
Right.
some of they consider a good OPS like over 800. Okay, and if you look at all the guys that have an OPS
base
over
percentage.
800, some of them are hitting below 250.
Hey, all I know is if you can hit safely 3 out of 10 times, you're a millionaire. That's all I know. That's all I can.
Correct.
Get me to first base when that ball is hit 3 out of 10 times. Come on.
Correct.
That's the only thing that matters. And I know getting on base, I get it. But I'm going to tell you what, it just kills me.
I mean,
Hey.
like it was, in college, we've had some guys in our program, Alex Gregory and Wayne Filchner accomplished that, hitting over 400 in multiple seasons, and then, move to college ball and the pro ball. You're right. The goal was to get the 300. I was holding 3-something going into the last 2 weeks of the year, and that's when my left hip started acting up, and my batting average dropped like 20 points over the last X amount of games. But that was the metric. You were every week, every day we get into the locker room, we would quickly look at the stats that we were looking at. We knew he was making a lineup based on 2 things. 1, basically, is your batting average, or 3 things. 2, righty or lefty, and 3, which was out of his control, was who we had to play and where. Because somebody higher up said, hey, start putting so at third base, or start putting so-and-so at second, or whatever. But yeah, that was the measuring stick, was batting average.
Jeez.
And if you didn't, but here's the thing: if you didn't have the batting average, you had to be like Gorman Thomas back with the Brewers. He barely hit his weight, but he hit like 30, 40 home runs a year.
Hey, I saw Ted Williams, his last at bat in Fenway, hit a home run. Last time he was at bat.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. I was there.
Dang.
I don't know if it was in Washington Senators. I can't remember. 61, 60, 61, 62, somewhere around that time. But the thing with Ted Williams that I've
cool.
always loved with Ted Williams, they talk about who's the greatest hitter in baseball. Let me tell you, this guy spent 5 years in the military service as a fighter pilot in the World War II and the Korean War. He did 2 tours of duty in the middle of his prime. And it's a 400, and they can't, and they played a doubleheader. He had the 400, and he said, nope, I'm playing the second one.
Yep.
I'm going to go play the second one. And you know what? The funny story, well, not funny story, but the thing with Ted Williams was if Ted Williams didn't swing at the pitch, the umpire called it automatically a ball.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I'm glad
if he ain't swinging at it, it ain't a strike.
Glad you mentioned that, Coach, because there's there are books and everything else about Ted Williams, but he's a great American.
Oh, fighter
he was.
pilot. 2 wars.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, think about that. I mean, and then he goes on, comes back after the wars, after the Korean War, and I don't know if he banged the 400 after that. I can't remember, but he's had a great career with a bad team, a bad Boston team, not a very good team in all those years. But I used to love watching him play. As a kid, I used to watch him play. It was a blast. I love baseball. How those guys handle the adversities, the failures.
Yeah.
I always used to tell the players, you got 7 failures you got to deal with. And the ones that deal with that the best, with their attitudes and their,
How regular did you get to Fenway when you were a kid?
as much as I could. I would, you know, yeah,
cool.
we used to go there, but sit in the bleachers. I got an old ticket in my scrapbook for $1.25. You know,
that's cool.
$1.25. Yeah, that's what it cost.
First time I went to Fenway was like June the 14th, and I'm not for sure who the Sox were playing. Froze my ass off.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm in shorts and a t-shirt, and froze. And
I'll tell you though,
we were there for a series, so I went ahead. I went in and bought a $80 hooded sweatshirt in June.
Yeah.
Came back the next day, and it was like 80 some degrees. But the next day we were behind. I was actually behind a damn right field pillar.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Thing, and I was like, well, this and loved
Fenway,
every minute of it.
Fenway is a great place to see a ball game. It's 33,000. They sell out. You know, I'll tell you what, Denny. I don't know. Being a /coach fan, which is going to be really dangerous. I was never an Alex Cora fan. You know, he was with that Houston organization, all the signal steal and this and that, wins the World Series, and they shut that down. He didn't win since. You know, and I'm watching them play, and I'm a diehard Red Sox fan. But the coach comes out of me. I'm watching these errors in the field of play. I thought they were undisciplined. I said 3 years on Greg Roberts' show. We were talking about. I said they need to fire this son of a bitch. Just fire his ass. And they finally fired him this year. And next thing you know, it took him a while. I don't even know who's coaching them, and I don't care. But at least
I don't know either. To be honest with you,
they went from 14 behind. They're 6 behind.
Yeah, they were 37 and 51, right?
Yeah, they got a chance for the wild card. They have a chance.
Wow.
They'll be buyers, too.
The American League. Yeah. I think there's only 6 teams in the American League with winning records.
Yes.
I think I heard that the other day.
Right?
So bad.
Yeah.
So bad.
I mean, the Yankees are pretty much even with the slide they're on, and you know, without Judge, they're pretty still much.
Yeah,
they're still. I saw a graphic again at the gym where the money line is they're the ones that win the American League East. I mean, the American League pennant.
Well, Tampa Bay. I mean, Tampa Bay's in first place in the East, which is like wow. And I think isn't one of the higher ups of Virginia Tech guy. I think he's like not the president, maybe the president of the. He's a big Virginia Tech. I met him.
Personnel, he is.
Yeah, he's a big one of the higher ups in the personnel. Played at Virginia Tech because I met him 2 years ago at that baseball fundraiser that they had, and nice guy. But
you're right, Coach. Coach Mabry, 5 teams over 500. That's
five.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. And how about Shohei Ohtani? What a dang.
Freak.
He's special talent now.
And a good dude, apparently. A really good guy, apparently.
I went to Cincinnati 2 years ago, and the Reds were hosting the Dodgers, and we saw a 3-game series, and he went 1 for 15.
Oh,
with probably 11 strikeouts.
Wow.
And then I came back. I turned on Sports Center, and he's hitting home runs. You know, like nothing.
Hey, I want to know who those
the
pitchers were.
MVP.
Wow. No, I love baseball. I think it's such a
it's a great live sport, but for me, it's just not a television sport anymore.
Well, you know, when they did the pitch clock, I think that's really helped them because the in between innings is fast. The game's fast. I like the pitch clock. I like the umpire. I like the strike thing. You know, because I think the umpires, the games I watch, I don't know what the percentages say that they're them being wrong or right. I know when I'm watching a game, I think they're better than they ever have been in balls and strikes because they got no choice. That's what I see.
Well, Rick's a big coach. Rick's a big fan of video replay. Huge fan. Rick just loves it when they go to the monitor.
Oh, I know. No, listen.
I'll stick my chair.
I know.
No, we're going to monitors. I know it's going to happen here, you know.
Hey,
Or we're going to come back with the same result we had anyway.
I see
You
it
think
one
you can-
time, and I make the call, and then they're over there for 4 minutes. It's
Wait, that game I saw, I visited you in the press box. They said they argued about something forever.
yeah, yeah.
Forever. The college game. It was like, what the hell is going on here?
It's so bad. Big South.
I got a story from Fenway Park back in 2017. I actually went to Fenway Park. We saw Boston and New York play, and they had a
Oh,
3-game series. And also went to the College World Series first time. I've been twice, but I went first time that year as well.
that's a
And
great venue.
that's
Yeah.
that's
Bucket
two,
list.
two of the best trips I've ever taken in my life.
Yeah, yeah. That's a bucket list thing.
But we go to Fenway, and the thing that surprised me is Fenway's right downtown. It's not like it's out in some
No, oh no.
landing area somewhere else. It's right
Copley
downtown.
Square.
And that was cool being downtown and being. I guess it's the oldest stadium. Maybe Wrigley is older, but the seventh inning stretch and Sweet Caroline and
Oh,
all
yeah.
the fans get
Oh,
into
yeah.
it's awesome. But I went with a guy, and when he goes to baseball games, he's got a hot dog hat, a big hot dog hat, big Irish boisterous guy. And we had seats on the third base line, second row.
Wow.
And he hates the Yankees, so he got on to Judge. Judge got up to bat and it's getting a little quiet, and he's yelling at the top of his lungs. I know Barry Bonds, and I know he's giving you that shit. There's no way you could be that tall. He got on his ass, and there was a line of people from Boston coming down to the second row to get a picture with Big John.
Wow. Wow.
Then who's a little midget guy they got, the little small guy the Yankees had. He comes up to bat. He gets on his ass. He said, "There's no way in hell that they started moving from Pee Wee League up to here." He says, "You can't hit the ball, whatever." And there was one point the judge just turned around and looked at him and smiled. He said,
Oh, that's
you got it."
hilarious. You know, it's Fenway, it's so hard today. All the corporations have bought up all the box seats. You know, the corporate businesses are they're literally, you can get some grandstand seats now, but really it's business entertainment in Boston. So to get Red Sox tickets on a box seat, it's hard. It's really hard to get them anyway, like Bruins tickets. So I'm a coach at Nebraska, and I'm taking a Boston trip with my ex and family. And so I called my buddy up, Brian White, gentleman Rick you had on that wrote the
Oh,
book.
he was great. Yeah, we got to get him back on. Yeah.
Well, he was a quarterback for Harvard, played quarterback at Harvard. So I called him up. I call him B. White. I said, B. White, you being a Harvard guy, I know you know people. I need 6 Red Sox tickets. And I know you know people. The Harvard people, they're so connected. I said, now I'll pay for it. I don't care what it costs. I'll pay for it. So his suite mate was like the #1 stockbroker in New England. He had an office overlooking the Massachusetts. I mean, it was ridiculous. He said, okay, I got your tickets. You ain't got to pay for them. Go downtown Boston, go up this building. He's on the 8th floor and pick up your tickets. So I go up there, and the guy, he gives me the tickets. He goes, I'm glad to do it. He's a big sports nut anyway. He goes, these are the best seats in Fenway. There are no better. And they are. They were right on. If you look at when they do the TV shots to the catcher, to the right, just as the netting ends, those were our seats. You could pick up the dirt from the field. But, that's what I say. You got to know a Harvard guy if you want anything done in Boston.
Hey, Jen's asking, do you have the stockbroker's number still? I don't know.
Yeah. I wish I did. Hell yeah. I mean, he was like, it was like crazy money this guy had. Crazy. And he had the best, 6 of them, 6 tickets. Cost me nothing. But that's the power of Harvard. The power of Harvard. You got to know a Harvard guy. Harvard, we used to say, Harvard men rule the world.
Are you an Ely or a Harvard man? Yes.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah. There was a question Wayne asked coaches. This will be for Coach Elmo and Coach Mabry, I guess. What is the difference between a coach's defense giving up 10 points a game and one that gives up 21?
What's the difference?
Yeah. One sucks and one doesn't.
One gets you fired.
Yeah.
Well, back in the day, right now, our goal was 13 points a game. That was the goal back in the day. Now, if you hold someone to 17 to 21, no more, no less defensively, you're actually doing a really good job of defense, 17 particularly, but yeah, 21 points, you still could win a game. The offenses are so high octane about scoring points. I told Rick the other day, I could have saved Southern Cal a lot of money, Coach Mabry. They could have hired me for $1,000, $100,000 a year, and I could have held them to 30 points a game on defense at Southern Cal. They didn't have to pay that sumbitch $2 million to give up 30. I know I can give up 30. I know I can hold them with 30.
There you go.
I'm good at that.
Thing in high school, it's hit or miss, and your fixes you don't have quite as many fixes on the high school level as you do on the college level. We played in the 90s. We had a lot of great Narrows teams that were defensively just stellar, and a lot of big games that we ended up losing. Our offense let us down. And then when I came back, and then Alta Vista, we had a combination of good defense and offense and won state titles.
Yeah.
And then I came back here that first year, 23, with Collier Pruitt. We were talking about him earlier, Rick, our quarterback. And we're scoring like 40, and we're scoring about 40 points a game. But the problem is, we were giving up points like by the buttload. We played Hoonacre. Hoonacre was the number one team in the state at the time in single A, and they had the Music kid, who's at Emory now, quarterback. And they were running that air raid stuff, and they beat us something like 71 to 62 or something like that.
Jeez.
So not quite as many fixes.
That'll make me have another bottle of wine.
That'll do it.
Hey, that's why they made alcohol. Shit. I mean, honest to God, I would go into games. Virginia Tech was kind of interesting because, and especially what Bud did there, because now there was Tyrod. Most of the great defensive teams in college, when you watch the Georgias or the Alabama, the teams that win a national championship because they're playing great defense. When I was at Wisconsin and we were in the top 10 nationally on every statistic, it's still a team game. Your offense becomes your defense becomes your offense. And when one's not doing well, the other picks it up. And that's what the great teams do.
You had to love that offense at Wisconsin, though.
Oh, you kidding me?
Because they were sitting there, they were milking clock.
Let me tell you, and just all we had to do in the first half is play good enough defense, because in the second half it became a bludgeoning. We were down 17-0 to Ohio State in the Horseshoe, 17-0 in Columbus in the Horseshoe. We scored 40. We shut them out in the second half and scored 42 points in the second half. We beat them 42-17
in the Horseshoe. Wow!
In the Horseshoe,
you play good defense. You play good defense, and then you've got an offense that eats.
Well, it's complementary. You got to play complementary football.
Yeah.
You can't be like Southern Cal.
If they come
Carolina
if they come out 2-by-2 and throw 3 straight passes and punt,
you can't be 3 and outs and defensively. You're playing. If you could play, the NFL average snap is about 60 to 65. They don't want any more snaps than that. That game is over fast. And they finally in college changed it where, after a first down, the clock's still running. They used to stop the clock on first down. Well, next thing you know, the offense is getting 80, 85, 90 plays. Listen, you're averaging 85 defensively. If you're playing 85 snaps a game and your average should be 65, after a while, multiply that by 10 games. You're playing 2 or 3 more games for the year.
Yeah,
so your injuries are going to go up. You're all that crap so you got to be able to, you want when I was at the great defenses, when I was at 65 snaps. When you get into the 70 snap defense, 70, 75, 80, they're scoring points. I don't care if you're playing Roanoke College. I don't care.
Right.
There's points. You're giving up points. You give them enough possessions, you're giving up points.
When we
I
won,
think the college game has changed with that running clock on the offensive coaches hate it. They hated it.
when we won our first state title at Alta Vista in 2009, we were in the Dogwood district. It was a big play league. Brad Bradley was running the spread, putting tons of points on the board. Gretna was loaded with those teams. Dan River had the Edmonds brothers. And it was big plays. It was a lot of big plays and stuff. And we had a defense that was really, really, really good. And it was a mixed league. It was half partial single A and double A. So it was a mixed league. So we get in the first round of the playoffs, and we think we're really good defensively. And we open with Riverheads at Riverheads.
Okay.
And they're running this double wing power. All they're doing is walling you down.
Yep.
Play side. They're just walling you down, and then they're pulling everybody.
Yep. Yep.
In the backs, when they hand it off to that wing, it's coming around. All he's doing, he like stops, and he'll get right behind. We were wanting to bounce him out, and some of it won't bounce out. He grabs his guards. He grabs one of his linemen's jersey, and we think we stop him. He gets 2 yards. So we're pumped defensively. We're raising Cain. We're happy. And they're tickled shitless. They got 2 yards. And then they run another play, and they get 2.5. And then they run another play, and they get 3.
Yeah.
And then on 4th down, they go for it.
Oh, yeah.
So
Wishbone.
we kicked off to them. We kicked off to them, and they took the ball and had it for like 9 minutes of the first quarter.
Wow.
The kickoff before we ever touched it.
Oh, geez.
We ended up, we forced some turnovers. We forced some fumbles and everything. At the end of the game, we won 20-17, went on to win the state championship. And our defense that we thought we were really good. We of course, we could say this because we won. We say we held them to 300 yards rushing.
Oh, no doubt. Hey, it's not about the yards. It's the wins, the points. It's all about the points. Hey, Rick, did you look at that video I sent you of that kid from against Brady in Michigan? Did you?
Yeah.
Did you ever look at it?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. I sent Rick a video when I was coaching at Wisconsin. Real quick, it's a fun story. It's like it's what keeps you in coaching. Yeah, this one kid, for secondary coach before I got there, fired the kid. I get there, Barry fires him. We go into his junior year. I put him at nickel. He does a hell of a job at the nickel spot and makes plays, getting his confidence up more than anything else. Going into his senior year, I said, hey, you've earned the position. You come off the first Rose Bowl. I go, 99. I go, you're starting. You're the starting safety. You've earned your position. He was a 6'10" high jumper in the Big Ten. But he was one of those 150-pounders came into the program. And so we're playing Michigan with Tom Brady. We had two Big Ten losses in 2 years. The only 2 losses we had in the Big Ten went to that asshole. We could not beat Tom Brady. If Tom Brady ain't on the field, we beat Michigan because we're the better team. And that's a fact. So we're playing, and Bobby Myers, coach, you'll appreciate it. I got the safety. He's about 6'2", lanky kid. He's on the right defensive hash. We're running a rotational zone where he's got to go from the right hash to the middle of the goalpost, literally get to the middle of the field and start working because we're going to a 3 deep from a 2 deep shell. So as he gets towards the middle of the field, he gets to the nearest upright. Brady, it was like a little out and up stuttering type go. Brady, and as soon as that ball leaves the hand, he goes from the middle of the field. The ball's, this receiver's at the bottom of the numbers. He's outside the numbers. This kid goes from the middle of the field, and the ball is on the top of the head of the receiver. He's just about to get it. He takes it off the top of his head and intercepts a damn football. The damnedest thing I've ever seen in my coaching career ever. I said it to Rick. And let me tell you, Rick, when you look at that, you don't appreciate where he came from to make that interception.
I know.
But he took it off the top of this kid's head. And this is
you don't
Tom
see
Brady
it.
throwing the ball.
You don't see it. Yeah, you don't see
You
it.
don't.
Yeah.
So Sunday, I go in the defensive meeting on Sunday with the DBs. And I go, you just got drafted. You may be the last son of a bitch they take, but you just got drafted. I had a line of pro scouts out my door on Monday wanting to know who this kid was. He was a 4th round draft choice.
Wow.
And he stuck.
Guys, I'm going to have to get off here. I love y'all. I got to play golf tomorrow at Space Coast on Merritt Island.
Well,
So-
send us our open. You got to send us our open.
Oh, I'll do that. I was going to tell Jen to make sure this is going to be geared toward Jen tomorrow. So make sure you pay attention. But love you guys. Great to see all of you.
Hey, Morris, thank you for everything.
Yeah.
Appreciate what you did.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Yeah,
It was a
you,
pleasure. It was a pleasure, and it was a lot of fun.
It was a
Yeah,
blast.
it was.
Make sure
Thanks,
you
guys.
hydrate tomorrow, but make sure it's water.
Yeah.
That could be my problem. dude.
That might
Now that I think about
that might be the issue.
Could be.
Yeah.
And it's not 12 ounces.
Not the
either.
foamy yellow stuff. Drink the white, the clear stuff.
All right, guys. Take care.
All right,
Later,
see you
brother.
more.
See you tomorrow, man. See you tomorrow. Hey, Coach Elmo, Jen wants me to ask you about you went down and visited with Shane, did you not?
Last 3 spring practices. I've
Okay,
been there.
What's your prognosis for that team, and what does he need to do? What's going on down there? Why has that program kind of gone a little stagnant?
Lenora Sellers is, you look at what he did 2 years ago. The kid literally beats Clemson by himself. Literally. When you watch a game, he is a hell of he's a great kid, not a good kid. He's a great kid. He's very loyal to the program. Now, I'm sure he's got enough NIL money to be loyal to the program, but he's very loyal to the program, because I'm sure he could have gotten a lot more money, a lot more different places. Maybe not. I don't know. When he hired Shula, Mike Shula, because he was an analyst the year before, and when they won their 9 games and got left out of the playoffs because of the numbers. I think they won 9 games that year, beating Clemson he was on a roll and a high. Then he gives Mike Shula the offensive coordinator's job. And they tried turning this kid into an NFL quarterback. And he's not. It was a square peg round hole. And the offensive line was not as good either. So it was a perfect storm in terms of, equating to how many games they won, 3 or 4. From 9 to 3 or 4, you got the offensive line not as good, and you've got a quarterback they're not playing to his strengths. And so what I saw this spring, was I think you're going to see what happened 2 years ago. I think you have a chance they have enough skilled people on defense and enough skilled people on offense to be an upper half SEC team. It's just going to come back to, they lost a lot of D linemen last year from 2 years ago. So it comes back down to the same old crap, Rick. Lines of scrimmages. The offensive line, D line. And now the quarterback can make that offensive line better, but not if you're trying to make an NFL quarterback out of it and trying to get into this rhythmic throw. He's a spread quarterback. He's not necessarily that you have to run him all the time. He can throw the ball. He can throw a deep ball. He's got some accuracy to him. He's athletic enough to be a good throwing quarterback, but not a timing throw. You know, you got to take the ball out of his 80. When 80% of the time he's asked to win games, there's no quarterback good enough.
Yeah.
You know, and you can win a game, but not a season.
Not a
So
season, yeah.
I think they're going to be better. I think they'll be better. I think they have a chance to win 8 games. I really do. If the offensive line can come around and they do what he does best, because he's got enough surrounding cast. Well, from what I saw in the spring.
Does he need 7 or 8 wins, you think? I mean, did you get a sense?
Oh yeah. No, if he's 4 or 5 wins, he's done. He's gone. It'll be South Carolina. They, like LSU, they don't have to put up with it. They're not. I hope not. I
Well,
want
they
them
just
to
did
be.
They just did it with baseball.
What's that?
They just did it with baseball.
Oh, Jesus, baseball. They're like,
They went all in on. They went all in on that decision.
yeah. Now the baseball coach they hired from Coastal, I knew his daddy. His daddy was a football coach, NFL coach and a football coach. Steve Schnall, good guy, great guy, passed away a couple of years ago. When I was at Coastal, when his boy was an assistant coach for Gary Gilmore, he used to come over to watch Coastal watch us when I was there, and we'd always shoot the ball. He coached at William Mary a couple of years for Jimmy Laycock. His daddy did. And no, I think they hired the right guy. You know, I think he did a great job at Coastal.
Yeah, I just you kind of, as soon as that they dismissed the head coach, you know, you could sense it coming that there was no way. He's had the best team in South Carolina for years now, every year, better than Clemson, you know.
Yes.
Better than South Carolina where he's at now. So, but the trick was to get him out of there, you know.
Yeah.
But you kind of felt like you kind of felt like it just felt like it was a done deal. Like people like, and you all saw it with them how they played. They did, you know, their play at the end of the year went down a little bit. I think they made a player start the sense that Kevin was leaving.
Yeah. Well, tell me, Denny, I've always said this about baseball and college baseball coaches. Don't those guys have to have a great rapport with the scouts, major league scouts, to get players, to identify players?
It's the same.
I don't know.
Well, you don't have that interesting dynamic. Well, maybe you do. You didn't coach in it, but now you've got 7-on-7 travel for football. But baseball, I've had travel for years. And it's the same thing with when I do in travel, is that you build relationships with coaches that know that when if I told, here's Dwight, if I told you to go down to ABC Chops, and it's the best steak of your life, okay, I've already put that steak at a high bar, okay. That's got to be the greatest steak ever. Otherwise, I'll say, listen, Dwight, go to this place. They've got good steak, but you decide. I believe in being honest about players. My program, and it's the same thing with pro scouts. Listen to the college scouts. They'll call them up. The same thing with football. Same thing with football. I was watching that movie with Kevin Costner, Draft Day.
It's a great movie.
Yeah. Remember when he called the guy they didn't draft, then everybody's number one, and he goes, well, none of the teammates went to his birthday party. That's the reason why they wouldn't draft him. Remember? That was the reason. How come no one went to your birthday party? Oh. Yeah. But yeah, they absolutely they speak to them.
Well, Abe Knapp, when Abe Knapp was the baseball coach at Fair, when he had Billy Wagner and those guys.
Everybody knew Billy Wagner, Virginia.
No, but you know what, though? He had some good baseball teams at Fair.
He did. again, I think I told you, my coach would not play them. He was afraid we were going to lose to a Division III team, and we were going to see Wagner. And more than half our lineup was left-handed. We'd have been stumped.
I love it.
What's up,
Good
DJ?
stuff.
Right, we were talking about the guy that broke the bench press record at Tech today.
Oh, what's his name? He benched 515. What's his kid's name? The
Defensive lineman.
Kamari
Yeah,
Copeland.
You know,
He's a Bob Beach guy.
yeah. He's from my area, 757. Yeah, he's a good player. I mean, you know, I think it's impressive. I've always felt I learned this very quickly when I was in college. There's workout speed, track speed, and then there's game speed. Antonio Freeman ran a 4.7, 4.6, but on game day he was much faster.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of guys. People talk about when I knew I was going to redshirt. When I knew I was going to redshirt was when the varsity guys reported, and I saw Hank Coleman push press in 3:45. I mean, he had a stoplight. They called it a stoplight because the color of the weights, and he just was pressing it up like push jerking, whatever. Those guys were strong on game day. I've seen guys though that were really strong in the weight room, but it didn't translate to the field. I always see those highlights on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and Twitter of these guys in the last few years at Virginia Tech squatting and benching, and then on 4th and 2 we can't stop anybody. So I just want to make sure. Look, Rick knows this about me. I've been around the game a long time now. I'm an unk, as they call me. I'm an OG. So I look at this stuff and I'm like, hey, man, it's great. You know, when I got to Virginia Tech, I was at Tech. Again, I was in a unique time. I saw the transformation of Virginia Tech, the campus and the facilities. When I got to Tech, we worked out in the old weight room. The old weight room. It was this dungeon. It was a dungeon old weight.
No music, right, Dwight? No music.
It was no. I think if we were good, like kids, Gentry turned on the music. But if we weren't focused, he turned it off, right? But what I remember is when I got there on my visit and when I committed and I signed, there was a picture of a guy that I looked up to named William Boatwright. And he broke the squat record. And there's a picture of him squatting and the bar was bending because there was so much weight on each side. But when you turned on the tape, you saw William Boatwright pushing the pile, like he moved people. So he was not only strong in the weight room, he was strong on the field. So I think it's a remarkable thing to get a bench record, but it's kind of like guys that had the 40 record at Virginia Tech, Brian Steele, Michael Vick, Andre Davis, Tyrone Drakeford. A lot of those guys were very fast on the 40, but they were also fast on the field. So I saw guys at Tech come from the track team that held Atlantic 10 track records, but they weren't fast on the football field. So again, there's game speed and game strength, and then there's off-season speed.
Well,
that's
Dwight,
that's like a BP baseball player. He looks great in BP, not in the game.
Yeah,
Dwight, this. One thing, Gentry. One thing you, as a coach, you're not getting Strength and Health magazine type player. You're getting the best conditioned, strength-wise, cardio-wise, football player you're in the country. That's what you're getting from it.
Yeah, I think the kid Copeland is.
You're getting the football player back.
Yeah. I mean, I said, I don't know. I caught the tail end. I had you guys on earlier, but I was still working when you guys were talking about baseball. And then who were y'all talking about earlier with was it South Carolina Shane Beamer y'all were talking about?
Yeah.
Record.
Well,
Yeah. It's tough, man, because that kind of team he's got, the talent he's got, man, that the SEC is a what have you done for me lately conference. I've seen guys, they will fire you in mid-season and keep it moving, man, where, in the ACC, we give you a lot of second and third chances.
Wait for basketball, Dwight.
But I heard Coach Almation talking about the O-line and D-line. I mean, again, that's where it starts at, and that's where you finish at. You know, I feel like, you know, to me, the teams that will win games are the guys that have the athleticism and skill up front. You know, you could talk about quarterback play. I'm just curious to see how these O-lines and D-lines, like Copeland, their record, I mean, to bench 515 pounds is crazy. I think my max was 400 and something, but, you know, on game day, I was able to move the pile. I was able to move those 3 techniques, you know, because you got to have skill. Like, you can be – so when people say athletic offensive lineman, like, how am I out in space in the screen game? Can I get to that safety? Can I – you know, one thing I learned when I first got to Virginia Tech at 17 years of age, I had a September birthday. So I turned 18 there. The first thing I learned my redshirt year when Coach Almation and Gary Trinkle were going at it as coordinators, and my O-line, Coach Grimes, told me, stay on your feet. Stay on your feet. If you were on the ground, it was bad. Even if you had a great block, stay on your feet. I didn't know what that meant until I became a seasoned guy later on. It meant basically, if you're on the ground, you're not helping anybody. So if you're on the ground, it's bad. So basically, they want athletic linemen and defensive linemen. So that means if I'm strong and we're doing a combo block and I got to get to the next level, that Mike linebacker, I got to be on my feet. So it doesn't help that you're big if you can't get to the next level. So that's what that athleticism. And, you know, most linebackers, especially in those Bud Foster and Almation defenses that everybody pretty much copied after those years they were there, you got to be able to get to a linebacker that's really moving at a fast level. You know, I know now everybody runs a spread. My biggest beef with the spread is if you watch the O-linemen in the spread, they're in a 2-point stance. We call it the racehorse. They're sitting up like this, right? And the ball is snapped. I'm already out of position if I'm standing straight up. I have no leverage. So the biggest thing I can't stand when I watch O-line play now, I'm not. Can I say this, Rick? That what we call it titty blocking.
Yes, you can. You're
like
good.
This.
You're good.
They're like this.
Hey, Dwight, as long as I'm on there, you're okay. Trust me. Hey, Dwight, if I'm on when you're on, it's open season.
Hey, listen.
I haven't heard that expression in a while.
Yeah, because it's an old school. Because basically, you're too. So people talk about Paul Pasqualoni. I know he wasn't as far as a popular coach, but to me, the reason why his teams were held to go against for the guys that were defensive coordinators, his linemen did not have my size, but they played with great leverage. And their scheme was effective because they would chop you on the front and they would get to that second level. And their pad level, I know that's not a popular thing, their pad level was so low, they get to that linebacker, 1st and 10, now it's 2nd and 3. Now it's 3rd and 1, first down. It's just it's not that complicated. So everybody wants to be sexy now. To me, that's cool. But can you block and can you pick up a blitz? Can you get to the second level? You know?
You know, Dwight, I'm going to throw this out to y'all. And I don't think it's fair when I make this statement. But the only thing, and I get it, Virginia Tech is the last few seasons have been so disappointing for the fans, particularly. And and when Franklin got there, it's nothing but positive vibes coming out. But I'll say this, the guy benches 515. When did we ever broadcast Mike Gentry's accomplishments? When was that ever broadcast or ever put out?
Different day and age.
And I get that. And I understand that. But I will tell you, if Gentry was still there today, you would never heard about this boy benching 515. Now, someone's gonna put it on Facebook or Instagram.
It's already out there.
It's already out there, but it ain't coming from the athletic department. It ain't coming from the football office. And maybe this didn't. But I'll tell you, I'll still say right now, the team that I think that I scared. If I was in the ACC, what the hell is Virginia? Because you don't hear shit coming out of their camp. Nothing.
Not a word.
Crickets, money, and now they finally allowed portal. Don't forget, 2 years ago, people said, "Oh, they go to the portal." Do you know? Prior to that, they probably averaged 5 or 6 portal kids a year. They finally let them have portal kids, and they're still restrictive academically on some of these things.
Yeah,
They are very restricted. Yeah.
They could not get portal kids coming in midterm. They went back to their high school transcripts. And I mean, it was, they finally allowed to, when they had 30 portal kids and they hit on just about all of them. So this is the second year that they've got with multiple portal kids. But I can still say this about Virginia, and God bless Virginia Tech. They there has to be such positive things going on. But Virginia's like, you don't hear anything, nothing. It's crickets. And to me, those guys are the most dangerous people. I remember when I was at 93 year, Dwight, we were ranked 86 in the country, and nobody cared about us. So it was great.
and they came out of nowhere last year, correct, Virginia? Right?
They did. They were picked lower than Tech. I think the thing that helped UVA last year, that quarterback they had was a winner.
Oh yeah.
He had a lot to prove because they won 6 games where they either came back or they went to overtime. I'm not gonna say they were lucky because I think that's a disrespect. I think they learned how to win last year. They won those close games because they beat Louisville in overtime. They beat Florida State in overtime. I mean, they really just had games where they just were really, really savvy in how they came back or they won in the fourth quarter. They also were very fortunate where they didn't play Miami and the other they didn't play SMU. They got a favorable schedule. But I think at the end of the day, Coach Almason's right. I've always felt Virginia Tech historically, going back to my era or right before I got there, we have always done better when there's no hype. That's why I think right now it's kind of cool that the hype is coming from more so recruiting. But as far as on the field, they're not a candidate to win anything because everybody feels it's Miami's conference to lose. Georgia Tech, Pitt, Miami, of course, is the favorite. So if you're Virginia Tech, I feel better winning it. I couldn't believe last year, and I called Rick. I may have texted him when I saw fans on Twitter, aka X, complaining after media day when we were picked to finish 14th or maybe 8th or 9th. I'm like, what do you expect? We haven't done anything. Why would you pick Tech to win anything last year? What do they have that, drones do? No. What is going on? But that's my problem with all this stuff that the fans want to see on game day don't matter. I don't care about a sellout streak. I don't care about Enter Sandman. I don't care about the uniform combo. Can we please finish the game? Can we stop fumbling in the red zone? Can we have a play that we run after 2 timeouts? Can we look like a competent program? For God's sake, it is all this money and hype and what used to be and who's wearing number 25 is beyond annoying. It drives me crazy. It's like, stop, man. Can y'all please stop with the hype? It drives me crazy, man. It does.
No,
I mean,
that was the one thing, and I think this is with Frank, and I'm telling you, the people I've been around, the Barry Alvarez's and the Beamers and the people, there's not, and I think Franklin, I'm not saying that Franklin's not this, because that's not fair to him either. But there comes a point in time, the publicity is great for the fans. It is, you're having the great recruiting and the ranking and blah, 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 blah. It's great. But let me tell you, one thing as a coach, I don't want to hear crap coming out of it. Nothing. Let's go play the season, because it's going to be measured in wins and losses when it's all said and done.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you, Coach Almason and Coach David. Did you guys, when y'all, and I've coached, but not at the level you have. I've coached high school as an assistant. I've coached AAU and youth football. But when I felt like I had a really good team, I would make sure my standout players, I was harder on them than ever before. Did y'all ever use that tactic where when you kind of wanted them to tune out the noise, did you guys not drive home the point that telling them that your guys aren't as good as you think you are? Did y'all ever use that tactic?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. We had at Alta Vista, we had 3 state champion teams. And the first one, we weren't really expected to win. 13 and 2013, 2014, when we won back to back, we were getting all the hype. And it was to a point where when we would take road trips and stuff like that, we had players because of social media and stuff that were like the damn Beatles when they'd get off the bus. People were coming to see on Thornhill and the Twins and kids like that get off the bus. Cheerleaders from the visiting teams coming over and wanting autographs and pictures made with our players and stuff. And when the people would come and they had us rated preseason #1 ahead of the EC Glasses and the Heritages and the LCAs of the world. We're single A now, and we've got to tell our kids, don't buy into all this shit. You don't buy into this. It's
the two best coaches I've ever been with that adhered to what you're saying, Dwight, was Lou Holtz and Nick Saban.
Absolutely.
But trust me, come Monday, you're not good enough.
Yep.
Tuesday, yeah. By Thursday comes around, you're good enough. But Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, humbling experience. And there was a thing, you'll appreciate this, Dwight. I sent this to Brian Steinspring because, when I listened to what he spoke at the Roanoke Sports Club there in Salem, and he did a great job. I got the video of it, and he was so, about the challenges and things of that nature. And here's my point is, I told Brian, I said, Brian, remember this. The best thing, when Coach Saban ever went before the press or talked to community, he was talking to his players. He wanted the message sent to his players through the press and to the community. He used those 2 venues to send messages to his team. And that's exactly what Brian was doing. And, there was a thing in the worst, call it, quote, syndrome in athletics. Denny, I think you'll appreciate this, Coach. I know, Dwight, I know you all appreciate this. Nick had a prominent psychiatrist, not psychologist, psychiatrist. These are the fix-it guys. They fix shit. They fix problems. Okay? The other guys, they identify them, but good luck. These guys fix it. So he had this prominent guy come in, and he made this comment that carried with me the rest of my career. He said, the toughest syndrome that the athlete has to overcome is when you get to the point where you're relieved after success, after a win. He called it relief syndrome. That all of a sudden you accomplish something, you accomplish a win, and they say, thank God that's over. Oh man, he goes, the difference with the Bradys, the Jordans, or the great teams, when they accomplish things the next day, they are very highly motivated the next day.
Yep.
And that's I call that the 20% club. There's
Yeah,
only
listen,
20%.
Dwight, how did Coach Smith? You played on
No,
state
there
champion
you
know
go.
what?
teams and
Hey,
were
he's
expected to
another
win.
one.
How
I
did he
could throw
handle it?
his name in there too, because I.
so it's so funny. it's so funny, Coach, you said that, because as Coach Almation was talking, I am being honest with you. Coach Mike Smith was in my visual. I was thinking about him. We played. I started 3 years on varsity. I was on varsity 4 years. My sophomore year, I didn't go both ways. Junior and senior, I did. Sophomore year, I'm playing left tackle. We got a big matchup against Ferguson High School before they closed it, right? Aaron Brooks is a starting quarterback who went on to have a great career at UVA, played in the NFL, was a Pro Bowler with the Saints. We're playing Aaron Brooks in Darling Stadium. It was a Saturday noon kickoff, and we are a well-oiled machine. We're undefeated. We're number one in the state, and we win 61-15. And we were so fired up because, Aaron Brooks, when you're a player and a coach, who's really good. They had a lot of receivers that were 6'3", 6'4". We shut them down. We win. We're dominating so bad at halftime, the coaches meet and they decide to have a shorten the third and fourth quarters to get everybody out of here safe because we didn't want to get anybody injured. We go in the locker room, and I remember this like it happened yesterday. And we're yelling and dancing, and we're just talking about where the party's at, the girls, and we're just talking crazy. Coach Smith walks in, turns his head to the back like he did, and he comes in with his and it was almost like a mafia. He had Coach Mann and Mitchell beside him, like staggered in the back. They couldn't even orchestrate it better. And he says, "What the hell is going on in here?" He said, "You're not that damn good." He said this. He said, "All this hooting and hollering that you lost your damn mind. You ain't." And he spits this the dip he had, the dip. He spits it and said, "You ain't done shit." And I was like, "Oh my!" I mean, I'm a sophomore. I'm scared to death. And he was like, he said, "I ought to run your asses right now. I ought to run you." And he just, and we all go silent. We go quiet. He said, "You're lucky you gave up 15 points." And I'm thinking, I promise you, I'm a young kid. I'm thinking, yo, dude, we won 61-15. We could have scored 100. And he wasn't worried about Ferguson and Aaron Brooks. He was thinking about which happened later. We were 9-0, and Kozlowski had a kid named Allen Iverson who was 9-0. We had to play them for the district championship.
Wow.
So it was to Coach Almeida's point. I never knew I was really good until my career was almost over because the coaches I played for, Beamer, Mike Smith, 2 Hall of Fame coaches. I was around Bud Foster, who I talked to this morning. I was around so many hard Gentry. I was around so many alpha males who didn't kiss your ass, who would my dad is a very peaceful. I don't never see my dad never got mad, but my dad never told me I was good. He might have said good game. He might have said, "Hey, good job," but not a lot. It was no. So I was always okay. We won the game. On to a business-like approach. During the game, we celebrated, but we were so focused. Coach Smith, I think, matter of fact, funny story, Coach. I interviewed Coach Smith. My laptop crashed. I never got the interview up, but I interviewed him 3 months ago, and I damn near cried in the interview on my podcast. I'm recording it because he said, yeah, he's older now. He said, "You were one hell of a player. You were one of the good ones."
Shoot.
You have to understand. I don't know if all you guys maybe you do. When a legend, a god tells you you were a really good player, I had to fight back. I had to fight back tears because, first of all, I come from a high school where Dwight Stevens, Hall of Famers, guys that went to Tennessee and UVA and Virginia Tech, and to some of the best. Ronald Kerr. I'm from a school that produced legend after legend, and for him to tell me that now, and he sees my sister. My sister works at the local restaurant, and he talks about how good I was now. I'm a grown ass man, and I'm hearing a coach talk about because we never. I played injured. I played one spring at Virginia Tech with both my hands broken. Eddie Farrell told me I did not need to practice, and I said I gotta practice. My spot was locked up. It was a spring. I wrapped both hands up. That was the year I met my wife. She was my girlfriend. She had to tie my shoes because I couldn't. I look like the black. I look like the black Edward Scissorhands. I couldn't. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not trying to poo-poo on the guys that play now, because there are some tough SOBs that play now in multiple sports. It's just that I do miss when it was like earned and not hyped up. I do like the fact that, you know, you were able to appreciate a guy or a female athlete as the journey began. But Coach Smith, man, good Lord. We went 2-a-days, full practice for a whole month, my 4 years. My 4 years in high school. I'm talking about August 1st to Labor Day. Because back then, Labor Day, school started after Labor Day.
Right.
And we went, when I tell you, I'm talking about separated shoulders, fights, guys knocking over Gatorade tables. Just it was literally, we went so hard. There were days I didn't even know what day it was. I'm talking about waking up. You know how hot it is. I know Virginia, people will tell you it's hotter now. I don't know, man. I don't know. It was hot back then. But this might sound, Coach Almation mentioned psychiatrists and psychologists. I sometimes look back, I had to be crazy because I got to a point where I started to enjoy it.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Because I miss, you know, the bus rides, even in Blacksburg, man. You know, when Eddie Farrell passed away, Coach Beamer told us, we were in Lane Stadium. It was a Monday night practice going into game week, and Eddie was an integral part of what we did. God bless the dead. And Coach Beamer, I knew something was wrong because he had a solemn look. And Coach Beamer always had a roll of papers like this. He always had papers he would pull out his pocket. And he pulled them out and he said, everybody gather around. He told us Eddie had passed. And I'm looking at guys on my team and we're crying. But this is a true story. I'm about to tell you. People don't know about this. And Beamer then says, because he had been getting on us all preseason, all camp, about the locker room being clean. And then he said, and you know what? Eddie would have wanted that locker room clean. He said, Eddie would have wanted that locker. And I'm like, wait a minute, what? He said, so I tell you what, you guys, I went in there and the locker room wasn't clean. So mind you, we weren't supposed to condition that day. This is after a long practice. Because it's game week. We covered everything. He said, everybody on the line, we're going to run for Eddie Farrell. I said, Jesus Christ, Coach, come on. I didn't say it out loud. I said it to my inner self.
Right.
The inner.
And then we got on the we're in Lane, and you know the Lane Stadium is much bigger than the practice field. And we ran 100 yards per, I don't know, that whistle must have blown 20 times. Gentry just blowing. Go! Next group up, go! And we're just running. And they let us, thank God, let's take our shoulder pads and pop your pads. But we had to still, the pants and the cleats are on. And we're running. And I was like, man, this is grown man business right here, bro. Because in the back of my mind, we're mourning Eddie, but we still had the job to do. And that year we put EF on the back of our, Eddie Farrell on the back of our head. We had the sticker, you know, but you know, it was tough, man. Everybody, I don't remember, and I'm not trying to make it seem like we were in some type of war, but I don't remember anybody on the staff or anybody around us that were soft. You couldn't be soft. You couldn't be. That doesn't mean we didn't have a humanistic approach to life. We had chapel, we had people that cared about us. But, you know, you had Foster on this morning, Rick. How intense was that guy talking about Almation and what Almation taught him?
Oh, you can see it in his face. You can see it in his face.
Now, Rick, imagine this. Grantham, Almation, and Foster on one staff.
And Gentry.
Yeah. We're getting ready to get the Avengers together and fight Dr. Doom, man.
Hey, Dwight, I told you, When I look at my phone and there's former players on the line, I don't take the call. I think they've lawyered up.
Hey,
They're
but
going to
look,
sue my ass.
to Almation and Coach's point, check this out. You bring up a good point. Accountability. How Rick, don't I always talk to you about accountability?
Every time.
When I was a red shirt, it didn't matter. Even in high school, I was fourth in the nation by Sporting News had me fourth in the nation. Orlando Pace was number one at his position. I'm a lineman. I was fourth in the nation. I didn't even know that till my teammates told me. But Coach Mitchell and Coach Smith never let off. They never let off me. And then I get the tech, and I remember because when I was coming in, Almation was on his way out, and I saw Coach Almation, I saw Bud, I saw Grantham, I saw J.B. Grimes, I saw Thon Spring, I saw Gary Trinkle, I saw Maurice Shazo get ripped a new one. I saw Antonio Banks and William Yarborough get ripped. Nobody, it wasn't like, oh, you're good. No, everybody, if you missed a block or you didn't get a pick, you got laid out verbally. So accountability is everywhere. Now I hear people say, well, we can't say anything because if we get them too hard, then they'll jump in the portal. I'm like, man, what? Man,
You're not letting them be themselves. If you tell them to do something, God forbid.
Oh no!
It's like in baseball when they hit a home run and they decide I'm going to throw the bat 25 feet up in the air. I'm going to give the right field bleachers the finger, and then yell at the pitcher as I'm crossing home plate. And if you crap about it, I'm transferring. I'm going to go somebody's going to let that kid play there.
Yep.
You know what, Denny? Here's the problem. Here's the problem with that. Okay? Today, the next time that some bitch goes to bat, it's coming right in his head.
Bob Gibson would have
absolutely. You do that. You throw a bat to Bob Gibson and cartwheel around the base, he's going to throw it at your head. With the intent
I'm referring to is like with to the point that Dwight's making is, and I've heard, and I've seen, it's a word. You used the word accountability, and I've heard Coach Grantham. I've heard Todd use that word a lot, accountability.
Oh, yeah.
And, you patrol it. Like, the like baseball, the dugout takes care of that nonsense.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to be doing. You know what I mean? You don't embarrass your team, other team, you don't embarrass the umpires. But again, here's the problem. And I don't want to say their names on here, but there are some college baseball programs that really don't care about the character of the player. All they care about is their OPS, how many home runs they're going to hit, their batting average, their spin rate, their velocity. And by the way, speaking of, they were talking about ESPN ruining baseball. For example, when the hell did a curveball become a sweeper? Or when did a defensive end when the hell did a defensive end become a goddamn edge?
Exactly. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, by the way, that kid that Virginia Tech lost, that Bud was
grasskeeper?
Yeah. Hey, Rick, that kid that Virginia Tech lost to LSU.
Yeah.
I evaluated him.
Yeah, you didn't like
it. On a highlight tape, not one time, Dwight, did I ever see him get off a block. Now, against the air, he won that fight against the air. Now, when he would get in the backfield, he was physically disruptive, whether it was running back, quarterback sack, very fit. Would you scholarship him? Yes. I'm going to scholarship him. He's a jack end. He's an outside guy. But not one time did I ever see a tackle or a tight end with violent hands put its face in the fan, get off a block. Not one time on a highlight tape. So I just put down on my eval because I had to do it for Greg Roberts' show. NMI. I need more information. I got to see this kid in the padded camp, bring him to our camp. And I'm not questioning his courage, but all I know is this is a highlight tape. Come on. show me somebody, a play that he's got to disrupt a block one time, not one time. So I said, you know what? Okay, scholarship him, whatever that figure is, one money or sign or two monies. I ain't going higher than this. And good luck. If we lose them, and especially to a Southeastern Conference team, I don't give a shit because I ain't going to play against them. And who cares? Go to the next guy.
You know why?
Really?
You know why? Because I worked for Rivals at one point for 2 years, and I ended up working for 247 Sports. I was a columnist. And I don't really make the point that you have to have played to evaluate, but I do think there's some merit and credibility when you listen to a guy like yourself, Coach Almation, or other guys that have done it. Most of these guys, when they do the rankings in state and even in other states or national rankings, they go to a Rivals or 247 showcase. Nobody has pads on. They're wearing dry fits and they're going through drills. And they say, hey, his measurables and analytics means he's a 4-star or higher, right? I got.
And how many offers has he got?
Bingo. I got an argument. I'm going to say his damn name. I'm still cool with him. His name is Brian. I'm not Brian. His name is Brad. He runs Cavs Corner, UVA Rivals. And me and him got an argument about alignment. And he was telling me he ended up going to UVA on a full ride. And he was talking about, well, look at his offer sheet. That guy never played at Tech. I mean, never played at UVA.
No.
He had the look. He never played. He never played. I'm not dogging a kid. I'm saying that most of the time when you evaluate a guy, you have to look at the tape, but you have to know what you're looking at. I watched soccer this past summer, this year. I didn't know what the hell I was looking at. So I didn't comment on Twitter about what I just said. Okay, hey, what's going on? I was leaning on the announcers because I didn't know the terminology. So same thing. I told a guy the other day, offensive lineman, in my humble opinion, is a very tough position to evaluate in high school. They were like, what do you mean? I said, because when I played, and even now, unless you're at a very high-level high school conference like the WCAC in the D.C. area, you're going to go against many nights on Friday or Saturdays, guys that are not close to your level. So there were times I was going against a guy, I'm 6'5", 340. I'm going against guys that look like toddlers. So how are you going to evaluate me? I'm not going against a Waverly Jackson. You're not going to see in the high school level, there's a difference between D1 and a guy that's not going to play after graduation. So the offer list kills me, because then you have to look at how many offers are committable. Kids get offers. JMU, Virginia Tech does it, UVA does it, Maryland does it, Boston College does it, LSU does it, Auburn. One weekend, they will throw out a bunch of offers, right? And I tell the kid all the time, try to commit tonight and see what happens.
Absolutely.
They'll be
100%.
like, hey, yeah, you know,
100%.
Aren't a lot of those recruiting services too paid?
Pay what?
They get paid.
Kids pay a certain amount
man,
to
don't
get
get me
in and
started. Listen,
get into the service.
Remember that one night I jumped on here and I said, if the average fan knew, it is such a hustle. The integrity is not what you think. So that's why I tell Tech fans all the time, and they were like, man, we got it. Most of the kids we missed on during Beamer's last 4 years, with the exception of Josh Sweat and Deshaun Hand, the rest of those guys we missed on did not do anything. They didn't. I watched. Like, Deshaun Hand is a kid I've known since he was in high school. He followed me with his high school coach. His first visit was to Virginia Tech for the spring game. I introduced him to Ken Chancellor, Tyrod. We were number one on his list because he wanted to play for Foster. He ended up going to Alabama. He had a great career, but he didn't start till his last year, senior year at Alabama. He was at Alabama. Now he's in the NFL right now. He's had a very good career. Josh Sweat went to Florida State. They told him he would get an apartment, that he would wear number 2. Well, who wore number 2 at Florida State? Deion Sanders.
Deion.
Do you think they pulled Deion's jersey from the Raptors? Hell no. And guess what? Freshmen can't have cars at Florida State or Virginia Tech. So he couldn't have a car. but he was already on campus. Now, to Josh's credit, he had a great career. He's playing in the NFL now. Jalen Holmes, a kid that played at Lake Taylor. We finished second to him. He went to Ohio State. He made the right choice. But my point being is, those guys were exceptions to the rules. Some of these guys that we miss out on, that the fans go crazy about, I hate to say it, they're overrated. And that happens
You know
in
what,
basketball and baseball and football.
Dwight?
Yeah.
When I've got to evaluate Greg, when I do the Greg Roberts show about this time of year, he gives me the top 10, the 247, and I evaluate them. And I do my own ranking, and it ain't even close.
It's like baseball. It's like baseball. You know, there's a couple work outfits out there like that. Actually, more than a couple now. And yeah, you pay for your videos being on their site and this that.
Yep.
And you actually have to sign off on your likeness being used. You can't use their videos, whatever. But if you go to if you're a pitcher and you go and say you're a 20. What year grad year is this? 27. You're a 2029 pitcher, okay, at a showcase, and you're hitting 90. You're automatically in the top without even anybody facing the hitter.
Yeah, just throwing 90.
And it's just and the metric, the spin rate. Same thing with the hitting, how fast the ball coming off your bat, defensively, arm strength. Your 60 time is the time, the 60 and the 20-yard dash that they're doing now. But yeah, Dwight said same thing. You could have a great metrics, and that's your score. But when you put that kid into a game, he's titty blocking.
Hey, guess what? Guess what, Danny? My first ever snap as a collegiate player on the road at Navy in 1995. At Navy. And let me tell you something. We only won that game 14-0. We had Dwayne Thomas, Jim Druckenmiller, Brian Emmons. We were loaded. Offense, Brian Steele, Cornelius White, Jermaine Holmes, one of the best receiving corps in Tech history. Grimes calls me in. I'm a backup to Chris Malone, who started 4 years at offensive guard. I go in to give him a breather. I'm thinking, I'm 18 years old. This is Navy. Let me tell you something. Navy's defensive line was the best defensive, not the best defensive line I ever played against. I'm talking about condition. These guys are at Navy. They weren't even getting tired. First snap, Drunkler calls a pass play. I'm in my 2-point stance. I'm ready to go. The kid put a spin move on me and almost got the sack. And then I said, damn, you know what happened? I realized there's a difference between where I'm coming from and where I'm at. This is Division I football, and we're playing on the road in Annapolis, Maryland against Navy. The next 2 snaps, I do pretty good. But my point being is that's Navy. Next snap I got was against Syracuse, and we're on the road. Okay, not that year, but the following year, right? You cannot measure crowd noise in the dome. You cannot measure going against Warren Sapp. So all these publications and magazines, these guys named Steve Dinwiddie that are sitting behind a laptop ranking the kid, they don't know what they're talking about. They're going off, Michigan State is really high on him. Did you realize, sir, that Michigan State last weekend threw out 35 offers? It's a business. You evaluating talent. When I tell you, when coaches were calling me, this is when I knew. When Pittsburgh called me, they were like, we like you a lot. We're going to offer you. I remember I was in high school and they called me, and I remember other schools. And I could tell that there were some schools that were calling me because other schools called me, but they really weren't serious about me. I played both ways in high school. When I got to Virginia Tech, first night there, Todd Washington, myself, and Derek Smith all played both ways in high school. They moved us to offensive line that night. We moved into Cochran Hall as defensive linemen. We got over there when we did the 40 and the speed and conditioning test. We got moved to offensive line that night, right? That's what I'm trying to tell these guys. These people, Beamer and his staff, Almation knows this. He talked about it on Rick's show. He was notorious for getting guys because the one thing, and Almation talked about this last year on Rick's show last season, they were notorious for moving guys to different positions because they had a masterful way of evaluating talent. They knew this guy was better suited at this position. One of the guys Almation, I don't know if I'm going to bring up an oldie but goodie, a guy that Almation fought for that tried to get him on defense, but they kept him on offense, was Ken Oxendine. Almation wanted him at linebacker because Ken.
I signed him. I signed him out of Richmond. No, we were
Thomas Dale.
Yep, we would. Projection. There's two kinds of schools in recruiting, and I don't know if it's applied to baseball, Denny, or whatever. But there's two kinds of schools. You got projection schools and selection schools. And what I mean by a selection school, can James Franklin go down to Alabama still today with James Franklin and get one of the top 3 players out of the state of Alabama come to Virginia Tech, even with NIL? Can he do that? You know what my answer to that is? No. Okay? Ain't happening. Can Alabama come up to Virginia and get the 1 or 2, 3 player in the state of Virginia? Yes, they have. So is Georgia. So is Notre Dame. So is Ohio State. Could Frank Beamer go to Virginia, go to the state of Ohio and beat? And I don't care if they beat him in the horseshoe. Can they go to the state of Ohio and get the number 1 player in the state, or the 2 player, or the 3 player? No, and that's okay. So that's what separates selection schools and projection schools. Alabama is a selection school. Texas is a selection school. They select because they have a home base enough to get 60% of their playing roster in a 250-mile radius, so they can go out in the nationally and select. Now, the projection schools, like Virginia Tech, from a coaching standpoint, are the most fun to coach at because you get to project a player. Now, does Dwight break that rule? Well, because he was a first-class, high-profile, talented player. Okay, he ended up being he was a selection guy. He was a guy you selected, and at that time, with George Welsh and Frank, they were able to keep the kids in the state, the selected kids in the state. But there was 40% of your playing roster came through projections. The Brandon Simoneses, the William Yarboroughs, all these players that, Hank Coleman, Lawrence Lewis. I mean, this is Virginia's rejects. And you know why I can say that? I'm at Virginia. I rejected Ken Brown. I rejected Hank Coleman. I did. I couldn't find, nope. Not that they were not good enough. Couldn't find a place for them, and we had people that committed, so we did not offer them. So Virginia Tech was playing with our rejects at UVA, and all of a sudden I get to Virginia Tech, and I got to coach these kids, and I did.
Rick, man,
Yo.
hey, look,
Yeah.
hey, Rick, my iPad is at 4%. I'm about to jump on. Look, you got it. Listen, Almation. He's not gold. He's platinum. The stuff you guys are getting. Yeah. Listen, I'm telling you because I was around it. Ken Brown, I had a poster of him, Antonio Freeman, and Mauricio Shazer in my dorm room. Ken Brown was one of the best linebackers in the conference in the Big East. I didn't even know this about Hank Coleman. Hank Coleman out of Richmond was a hell of a defensive end. I didn't even know this. I didn't even realize. So this is why I talk about development, because when he got there and Bud and those guys in Grantham, when they got their hands on these guys, especially the D lineman in secondary, William Yarborough had I believe he had an interception in the Sugar Bowl. A kid like Torian Gray ended up being one of the best safeties in Virginia Tech history. I didn't even know these stories, man. That's what I'm saying. This is gold. Because I think it's good to have Almation on your show too, because the credibility, man. Like, I don't even know this stuff. Like, I'm just sitting here listening and I'm taking notes. I'm not going to do what they call copyright infringement. I'm going to give credit to Al Mason when I say these. I'm going to make sure people know that I got. But then again, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's 100% spot on about the selection and the different things, because there's levels to this, and this is why I talk about. I think what the NIL has done in baseball, football, and basketball and other sports, respectfully, including women's sports, is some of these coaches have gotten lazy in their recruiting and in evaluation. Because, I mean, I don't care that the kids are getting paid. I'm not jealous. I have a blessed life. I just wish that we were evaluating more. When I watch a game now, it's not just with Tech. When I watch some of these games, like you look at Lauren Johnson, the head coach of Highland Springs. He won 5 state championships at Highland Springs and has a chance to win more. His son, Braylon Johnson's a safety at Virginia Tech. He doesn't touch the field, despite us giving up big plays. Goes to Wake Forest and starts right away after leaving Tech.
That?
Starts
Wow.
at Wake Forest this year.
I didn't know that, Dwight.
Wake Forest, yeah, and he doesn't get any time at Tech. Goes to
And
Wake
won 9
Forest.
games.
They won 9 games, including beating UVA and Tech on the road.
Wow.
So my point is, I'm not saying that this ain't a Pearson Prelo issue, because Pearson wasn't the guy that decided not to start him. What I'm saying is, what were Pryor and those guys looking at? Because to me, if a guy leaves your program and starts at a program that has the NIL budget of a Pop-Tart box in Wake Forest, Wake Forest does not have the NIL that Tech had even last year, but they win 9 games. So you mean to tell me it's coaching and development, because Braylon Johnson starts at Wake Forest and plays well, and they beat UVA, who had a damn good team, on the road. Now, to be fair, UVA's quarterback got hurt that game, but they still were dominating that game, and they beat Virginia Tech. So what are we doing? It's about, Al Mason said it on your show, Rick. He said some of these guys do not know how to evaluate. They're getting $500,000, $700,000, $900,000, and they can't effing coach. Yeah, I said it, and I dare you to say something to me. Some of these guys can't coach, and I'm a grown man now, because you know how I know? I tell you all the time, Rick. I play for Hall of Fame coaches. I've been around. You heard what Bud Foster said this morning. I know who I am, and I'm not flexing on your show. I'm saying is, if I'm getting paid as a therapist, I'm a licensed mental health therapist, which I am. If my patients aren't getting better, then why are you paying me? So to me, and I'm waiting for my direct deposit on Monday. I still live check to check. So to me, when I turn my TV on Saturday, and Virginia Tech is favored by 6, and I'm going to the bathroom and we're down 13 with guys making $200,000 in NIL money, but can't tackle, what are we doing on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday? What are we doing during the week? Are you not watching film? Are y'all not studying? You can't catch, you can't tackle, you can't block, but then you come in the post-game presser. Well, they did some things we didn't see on film, and we just got to execute better. Bullshit.
Hey, let me tell you what. I wish I knew you as a therapist my last 7 or 8 years of coaching. I could have used your ass. Damn. Hey. I needed a therapist in the worst way.
Hey, man. I love what I do. I help people, but I'm very honest. Therapy is nothing but accountability. And there's different forms of therapy.
Challenge.
Hey, I mean, look, I've had some tough patients, but I'll tell you this. One thing I do is, for that hour you see me, I'm going to show up, especially when you and your insurance are paying me. That's all I expect, Rick. I don't care about VMI. If we're only up 16 against VMI, fire everybody on Sunday. Come on, bro. Come on. But my thing is, don't tell me about the uniforms and all these shows. I love it. I watch them. I want us to win games. I'm tired, man. I mean, Danny's a baseball guy. You mean to tell me He don't know how to evaluate. He knows what's going on. He watches the game. I always tell people, don't make this out to be something that it's not. Don't tell me I don't know what I'm looking at. I know what I'm looking at. Don't tell me. My blood pressure goes up when I hear people say, well, we got to get more money. If you look at Indiana had a hell of a budget, but guess what? Signetti and his staff took JMU players and won the Big Ten. You know why? Because they can coach. They develop talent. See, that's all I'm saying. Don't tell me that we need more money. That's like them staff meetings when you have people around the table, consultants and everybody. Well, what's going on? We need a bigger budget. What did that guy say in Jaws? We're going to need a bigger boat.
Boat.
Bigger boat.
We're not going against Jaws. We're going against.
That's right.
Oh, Jesus.
Remember I told you, Rick, a few years ago, because I know guys on the staff. And what did I tell you? I went on Twitter and everybody was like, wait a minute, Vic might have a point. I said to you 3 years ago, I said, our strength and conditioning program is trash. And everybody's like, what do you mean? I said, what I'm telling you is, if you're leading in every game or most games against Miami and other teams in the third and fourth quarter, you're giving up leads, you're mentally and physically weak. Trust me. I know.
Wow.
You're mentally.
That's what happened.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I ran 21. My big ass ran 21 110s every summer, with 35 seconds rest in between. 21 110s, brother. I know about pain. What did Mr. T say? Pain.
Jeez.
I know about it. Hey,
You need to write a book.
Yeah,
it's
y'all
good,
do.
man.
Yeah.
I would stay on, but my iPad's I keep getting the notice. I'm at 2%. But hey, Danny, coach, you guys take care, man. I'll see y'all in the next one, man.
Thanks,
You
Steve.
are
man.
entertaining at
We'll
best.
see you next week, brother. Have a good weekend. All right, everybody.
Rick, I will see
Great
you
stuff.
tomorrow morning.
Yes, you
I'll
will.
see-
Bright and early.
I'll
We'll see
bright
you
and
at
early.
6:45. Yeah.
6:45.
Yeah.
Damn it, I feel like I'm coaching again.
I know, right?
Hey, Denny, Dave, you'll appreciate this. I get up at 6.
Yeah.
When he has me on, I got my notepad, got my book, I got it right here. Okay. Have my little notepad out, pull it out, and I start writing down for what he's talking about 45 minutes. It's like going to class, the professor, Dr. Watson.
Yeah, most worthless notebook you ever own, Coach, right there.
Honest to God, I used to use sticky notes. I had too many sticky notes. Oh, hell.
They're all over the place.
I went out and bought this.
Thanks, Coach. Great as always. Appreciate
Dr.
you, man.
Watson. Thank you. Denny enjoyed it. Love the baseball talk. Coach, Saturday was unbelievable.
It was fun. It was definitely fun.
You're going down memory lane with all the coaches you coach with, and I end up knowing Steve Miller and people like that. Phenomenal. I thought you would enjoy that picture of the
That was great.
86 Peach Bowl team. And Rick, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate,
Thank you, guys.
as always, great time. A lot of fun.
Yeah, great time. Thank you.
Y'all have a good night.
All
All right,
we'll
see you,
tomorrow,
Coach.
See you,
All
Coach.
right, y'all. Thank you, guys. Thanks, Coach Mabry. Coach Mabry, I sent you something. Check it out. It was weird. We were talking about that kid, and he shows up today, right? We filmed him today, and I didn't even realize it. So,
Okay.
yeah, I sent you something. Denny, great as always, brother.
Thank you.
Keep an eye out
See you
for that
next week.
release, Denny. All right.
All right. Y'all have a good weekend.
All right, y'all take care. See you tomorrow.
No comment. Bye-bye.
All right, thanks, everybody. Thanks, Morris, as well, for stopping by. Deep Vic, this has been Big Dawg Pop. We'll see you tomorrow morning, the finally Friday edition of BDST. Thanks, everybody. Take care. Have a good night.